Yes, indeed. Yo, what is the deal? Welcome to the No Pick Show. There's no hand holding. We do facts, not emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. Yes, indeed. So the Pelicans are victorious again with Summer League. Very sloppy game, but all that really matters is to win. Ultimately, you had JP, which is Jerome Pierre, not JP3, which is Jordan Poole, but you had Jerome Pierre. He went 5 for 17 from the field, but then hit some big buckets, including a couple monstrous dunks. Ended the game with 16-3 and the 16-3. Yeah, 16 points, 3 rebounds, only 2 turnovers. Hunter Dickinson, and then the 7-8 and 2. Kobe Buffkin, rough shooting from the field. Watching the game, it looked worse than it actually was with the box score. So that's why, the game is more important than a box score. But ended the game 4 for 11, 1 for 6 from beyond the 3-point line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, ended with 15, 2, 2, and 4. One of those twos being 2 steals. We also had 5 turnovers. Hit some big buckets to close the game, including the big midi, a couple big free throws. I think he hit a big 3. Noel had a quality game for him. A lot of people was talking about Malik Deer, who went 6 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 from beyond the 3-point line, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 18 points. So he had a very quality game. Showed a really good motor. What was that with your E-Dog? Showed a really good motor. When I watch him, he is, a bit of an offensive driven player, but he got a really good motor. Out to get his own for sure. Michael Peavy didn't play today. Still some major questions in that front court in the center position, despite how well Hunter Dickinson has shot the ball. Still some questions of surrounding that position, and we're going to talk about that tonight. So right now, the Pelicans have one center who people anticipate playing, and that's Yves Missi. What was that with you, Austin? Shout out to you. Have one center that people anticipate playing, that being Yves Missi. Of course, Derik's going to get some minutes, but I think we all know at this point that Derik's not a 5. Also, Derik has had seemingly some conditioning issues this off season, so hopefully everything's cool by training camp and by preseason. He's ready to hit the ground running. But I think the pressure on the Yves Missi, on the Derik Queen could be a little too great for them to bear at this juncture. I've been told that the Pelicans are still looking at some center options, probably more so via trade. You still got guys like Nick Smith, who's available this offseason, probably minimum type guy. The contract details came out today about DeAndre Jordan's contract. Again, to me, he's just an assistant coach at this point, in my opinion. Assistant coach, a little expensive for an assistant coach, but that's ultimately what he is. When he was when he was signed last offseason, that's what I anticipate his position being. So he's going to get his 20 years, probably going to hang it up after that, and I would be shocked if he didn't join the official staff in some capacity after that. Hey, Bizzle, what's the deal, bro? I'm just chilling, man. Just chilling, homie. Trying to get through summer league. This is some of the worst basketball you are going to see. My evaluation of Jerome Pierre is, the handle could use some work, and he doesn't have an elite first step. And I think, like, watching him, that explains why he fell in the draft, and wasn't, a lottery guy in past years. That the first step isn't really there, and the handle isn't there. But that's something, of course, he can improve upon and become crafty. I think his position in the NBA is going to have to be a 3-and-D guy with just supreme athleticism. I think the athleticism and the strength gives him an advantage on a perimeter, like as a defender. If he can force turnovers, get out in the fast break. Nobody want to be in front of this motherfucker while he running the fast break, because he's a monstrous finisher at the rim. Like, he can dunk incredibly. 3-point shooting, is going to come along, but I think his bread and butter and his path to the NBA is going to have to be 3-and-D guy. I think that's what I see so far. Nola, what's happening with your homie? That's cool. And Clarence, what's the deal, bro? What's the deal? Yeah, bro. So, again, after talking to a couple people, the Pelicans still working on addressing the center position. I think the league is held up a little bit by what happens with LeBron. I think some of that is fluff too. I almost feel like that's LeBron them kind of being like, hey, come sign me, versus teams genuinely interested. That's kind of what I'm taking away from the vibe so far. Hopefully that decision comes this week, and that'll say a lot for teams like Cleveland, who's gonna need perimeter defense. Whoa, what's up, Louisiana Gal? Shout out to the home in the building. Teams like Cleveland that's gonna need perimeter defense. Teams like Golden State that's still gonna need help along the perimeter. A couple different teams that's still gonna need some support from a wing player. Of course, the Pelicans have 2 wing players who not necessarily available, but wouldn't mind if they weren't Pelicans anymore. That being Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. Like that's my understanding is that they ain't like tripping if they play somewhere else. So we'll see if accommodations are made. You understand me? Pals to the blender, what's happening with your L? Shout out to the dog L. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his show. And while y'all in the building, man, make sure y'all hit the like button. Much love to y'all. Desmond King say 42 and still holding up free agency and moves in the offseason. That's crazy. You know what's funny though? You gotta appreciate LeBron and Steph and all them dudes because man, once them dudes gone, it's like I firmly believe we're exiting the superstar era. So once LeBron gone and once Steph gone and some of them dudes, like it's gonna be fucked up because it's like, damn, everybody gonna feel like they're a tier below superstar. Maybe you got Wemby and Jokic, people like that, but they still gonna feel like they're a tier below superstar, like going back to back to back in the finals. It's gonna be crazy to see, man. Lonnie, what's the deal, homeboy? I'm just chilling, man. Hope all y'all had a happy weekend and a happy Sunday. You understand me? So yeah, just looking at again addressing the center position. Got a guy like Nick Smith who's still potentially available. I feel like every time I talk about somebody, another team go and sign the motherfucker. I need to shut up. That's what I need to do. I'm giving all everybody else the fucking ideas. So let's dive into Derik Queen's numbers last season. He spent the majority of these minutes at the 5 position. He sees himself as a 5. Whatever. I think the position is less important versus the skill set and what he's able to do. Like if he can go out there and if you can defend the rim and rebound at the power forward position, then I don't care what you think of yourself as. Like you could think of yourself as a center, but it don't matter. It's all about the skill set, right? So last season, I mean, if you watch the games, the defense was pretty bad when Derik was on the court, as especially at the 5. But he was able to get 11 and 7 and 3, 2 turnovers, not especially good. But again, he's a rookie. Shot 26% from beyond the arc on 1 attempt. 47% from the field. A lot of those like close range bunnies and buckets he missed. Didn't finish at the rim incredibly. Jeremiah Fish struggled at the rim as well. So things didn't look too promising with him at the 5, and I don't anticipate those things greatly improving. Now, when we move over to the homie Yves Missi, Yves Missi came into the league, had a very solid first year when he was forced into the starting lineup. He was thankful he was able to beat out Daniel Tice because Jesus Christ. But shout out to Daniel Tice. So I hope you're doing well. But so last year, Yves Missi averaged 5 and 5 in limited minutes. Now, here's where the problem comes in with Yves Missi's rebounding. If you look at I'm putting the cursor right here. If you look at the defensive rebounding numbers versus the offensive rebounding numbers, they're near the same both seasons. He's a very strong offensive rebounder. And, in theory, that's not a bad thing. It's not an issue. But ideally, you would like to see the defensive rebounding numbers be twice as much as the offensive rebounding. But nothing's wrong with him getting you second chance opportunities, putbacks and things of that nature. Again, he's a very good athlete, pretty good motor. So I think he'll be able to help you in that area. In that area, minutes went down by 7, of course, because you had DeAndre Jordan starting games. You had fucking Herb Jones starting at the 5. You had Derik Queen starting at the 5. But he was still able to bring his block numbers up, brought his turnovers down. Generally speaking, he had a pretty solid season with the opportunities he was given. You're just hoping that trajectory continues upward. So now let's look at Nick Smith real quick. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody in the building, man. Nando, what's happening with your homie? Shout out to the homie Nando in the building. Pals in the Blender say, would dominating the superstarless era still be considered great? I guess if you dominated, I would suppose you would be the superstar in that era. Like if Wemby was just going to back finals, I'd imagine that you would just have to classify him as a superstar. At the end of the day, you can't help who you play across from. You can only do what you can do. You can't really help who you play across from. So if he was able to do that, I would still give him some respect if he was able to do that. Nick Richards right here. I don't know why I pulled up Nick Smith initially. Shout out to Austin. He said Gerard Pierre have to work with Shamgar to get that handle tight. Oh, absolutely. And hey, thankfully, Shamgar's already here. They probably got time on task already. I like what I saw from Buffkin as well, but the thing with Buffkin, his decision making as a backup PG is a little questionable right now. And I think that's something he's going to have to refine to really stay in the league. Shout out to H. Bizzle. He said, do you think the change in the defensive system will help Eve with rebounding since he doesn't have to switch on all screens? I hope that they shy away from a heavy switch-centric defense, because that's a very good question. Very good question. So if they shy away from that, potentially, because he'd be closer to being under the rim, he's already put on a little bit of weight. I'm sure that's been made a point of emphasis for him. But if they roll out that same defense, it's going to get a little questionable. It's going to get very questionable because you can't have your big man guarding on the perimeter every time. And one thing I say about the Pelicans also, they are terrible with fighting over screens. Like the Pelicans just give up on screens. They just give up. Like they don't even try to battle. They don't even do like the rotation like Steph Curry used to do, like the spin off the screen. They just be like, oh, well, you got me. Come on, dog. They got us. We busted. Like what the fuck? Nah, nigga, fight. You're not gonna even try to put up no fight. So that's the issue that the Pelicans need to correct, in my opinion. Hennessy, what's the deal? He said, y'all think Rondo would have gotten guys to run in July Vegas weather? Probably so. Probably so. I mean, Rondo's a hell of a leader, hell of a motivator. Look, I like the fact that people working, and I like the fact that the camaraderie is building. But one thing I always say, boards don't hit back. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bruce Lee. Boards don't hit back. I love to see it in the summer. I love to see the work you're putting in. Only thing I really want to see in the summer, for the most part, is if you're playing basketball and if you're in shape. If you're playing basketball and you're in shape, I'm with you. If you're not doing neither one of those things, I don't really care if you're doing push-ups and pull-ups and all kinds of shit and you sunbathed and I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see you play basketball. And that's one of the things when you consider, Derik Queen moving forward, is like, yeah, we saw him do a couple pull-up jumpers. I wonder how much basketball he's playing at this point. I know Michael Peavy mentioned in passing that Coach Mosley had him, focusing on defense and locked in. Here's what I anticipate happening. Right? It's going to be one of two things are going to happen. One or two things are going to happen in my estimation. And shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all tap in, hit the like button. Shout out to Lala in the building. She said, damn, I missed the game. Watching my son's team go 4-0 this weekend at the Puma tournament in Virginia. Oh, shout out to Lala. Shout out to the family. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Lala and her son, man, doing their thing. I know Dotson had mentioned them also. But shout out to y'all. Congratulations, man. Going out there dominating in the DMV. But yeah, whoa, what's happening with your Zilla? What's happening with your homie? I'm cooling. Yeah, so here's one or two things I anticipate happening. If the Pelicans aren't able to address the center position, like and make a significant upgrade, or even he said Sham God saved my life, or a rotational upgrade, I think Yves Missi is going to start at the 5. I think Yves Missi is going to start at the 5. I know it kind of went back and forth initially in conversation. Like I'm talking about not behind the scenes. I just meant like we've had conversation back and forth that maybe Queen starts, but I don't know if they would reward Derik at this point. I think he'd have to totally outplay Yves in the preseason and training camp. I think he had to be in better shape. I think he had to outplay him. I think his attitude would have to be totally locked in. I just can't see DQ getting that edge. Now, in the event that Derik does start, I also see this. I can see it not lasting long. I can see him trying hard and it just not working on the defensive end. They're like, all right, we can't do this. We got to make the adjustment. Because that's something that kind of happened with Borrego as well. The way he was just like, yo, I can't play him at the 5. I just can't do it. It just won't work. And the numbers tend to support what he said. Or he don't try very hard and they make the adjustment and pull him. I just don't see any good scenario for DQ starting at the 5 next season. You know what I'm saying? This offseason hasn't given me much hope. I don't know if I saw him play in the summer league, I would have much more hope either. Because just he said, be careful speaking on Derik. yeah, look, hey, look, I'm stalling people out as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? I ain't Louisiana girl, you know, I ain't no motherfucking publicist or no PR person. I just want to win. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everything works out. He gets some great run this off season and going into training camp and get some scrimmages in and things of that nature. I'm just thinking about it from a realistic standpoint. Like, if the season was to start today based on the last thing we saw from DQ, which matchup would I feel comfortable with him playing against? Like, would it be like Cater in Boston, Joan Beranger, Wemby, Mitchell Robinson? Like, with realistically, like, what matchup would I be like, this is about even? And some can say that about Yves also. It's like, damn, which matchup would I really feel like I got the advantage here? And it ain't many, you know what I'm saying? Today, that's why I still think they really need to address that center position, because I don't think you should put either one of those guys in that position. I'm more comfortable with Yves doing it, but I don't think Derik should start I don't think Derik should start, but I damn sure think he should start the 5. L, what's happening with your home? And shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. He said, we're going to talk about Joe costing Gail money since he didn't know the rules concerning DeAndre Jordan contract. We know Gail cares more about her money. Joe's in trouble. You know, I wouldn't presume that he did. I honestly wouldn't presume that he didn't know the rules. I'm sure you're talking about DeAndre Jordan having like a 2-year guaranteed deal. Gail Benson loves DeAndre Jordan. Like, Gail Benson loves DeAndre Jordan. I'm sure there's other mechanisms to where they could have made that work. I don't really see the importance of it, honestly. Like, for example, the Pelicans are about $8 million from the luxury tax line, whereas if the league would have paid a portion of DeAndre Jordan's contract, they'd have been about $9 million from the line. To me, in the range of free agency we're at and where the Pelicans range is at, you're not really going to come that close to the luxury tax line anyway, to be honest. And on top of that, waiving and stretching Jordan Hawkins is still an option. The Pelicans having one roster spot open. They can still do a couple uneven trades. There's no scenario right now I see where the Pelicans send out like $10 million or take back, like $10 million more than they send out. Like, to me, the most ideal scenario for me with DeAndre Jordan would have been you sign him this year, whatever, and next year maybe he does like a 1-day contract so he can get 20 years and just retire, and then you hire him to the coaching staff. That would have been ideal for me, but of course they know more about curating a healthy locker room than I do. But, you know, Don Gilbert, what's the deal? He said, fam, we actually look like a professional team. No more Corey Brewer and Willie BS. One thing I'll say about the Pelicans that I'm happy about, man, and shout out to Elvin because he stressed this as well. It's ugly, but they finding ways to win. And at the end of the day, we don't give a fuck how you win. You can win by an inch, you can win by a mile, you can win by one motherfucking point. Can you win? Can you survive this season until you're in a better position next offseason to potentially do some things? And they finding ways to win, man. Shout out to Guy Sham Guy. Desmond King said, you don't pop on Propels talking about? Nah, bro. Nah, I don't. Nah, I don't fuck with it no more. What's that? Oh, she said that. Yo, Derik. Marvelous said, "What's going on with Trey Murphy? Probably just had some prior engagements. I know he's been traveling a lot. Like he's actively playing basketball, and I mean, to be real, I mean, I guess you can go to Vegas for some camaraderie and shit like that, but I don't think it's that big of a story, honestly. Look, I already spoke about this to like the members and things of that nature. It's like, look, man, at the end of the day, I don't think Trey tripping on being in New Orleans no more. Now, I don't want to see New Orleans, but the Pelicans, I don't think he would mind if he was moved, right? I'm not saying he's pushing for a move. I'm just saying I don't think he would mind. I'm not saying those two things are connected or related. I'm just saying I have an inkling that he wouldn't mind being moved, and yeah, we'll see what happens. H. Bizzle said the level of center play in the West, there's no way he can start at center. Fam, even with some of the backups, like shout out to H. Bizzle, like again, that dude Joanne Barrage is just a fucking animal, dog. Like it's crazy. Nando, what's the deal? He said him and Jordan D are really cool. He must be talking about DQ. Yeah, you know Jordan trying to keep him on the right path, keep him on the straight and narrow, man. You know, I hope it work out for everybody. Shout out to the homie Scope. What's happening with your Scope? I'm chilling. Game Osborne, what's the deal, big dog? I'm cooling, fam. Saints Pelicans say Herb and Missi should never be on the court together unless we up 20 or acquire 2 more shooters. Yo, I totally agree. I totally agree with Ryan because I look at it like this. Let's say even if Zion is taking 2 threes a game this season, he's still not really considered a shooter necessarily. So people are going to live with him shooting. People are just going to live with him taking those jump shots, right? So at any given time, if you're starting Herb and Yves Missi and Zion, that's going to be 3 non-shooters on the court. And let's presume DeJounte is starting. I guess he's not really a shooter either. I mean, the last couple seasons, he's been really bad from beyond the arc. I think the last couple seasons, he shot, sub 32%, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, in 24, 25, he shot 29%. This is DeJounte Murray I'm talking about. Shot 29% on 5 attempts. And last season, he shot 30% on 4 attempts. That's not going to put fear into nobody's heart, just to be real. So you got to get, some at least a shooter out there, someone that defenses can respect. Hennessy said we've invested draft stock and paid DeAndre Jordan meant to DQ. This motherfucker better involved into a quality budding all-star. Hey man, people can only help you if you want to be helped. I say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like motherfucker can't babysit nobody. Because that was the issue with Zion too, to a degree. It was like, well, damn, I can't. For one, you might not even want me around you 24/7, and I can't be around you 24/7 anyway. I got my own life and I got shit to do. So it's like, Squad will say old vets count 2.6 million against the salary cap. I think the Pelicans taking a full cap hit, if I'm not mistaken. Don Gildersleeve, does Herb start for Mosley? I hope not, because I would certainly view that as I would be upset with Mosley if that was the case. I would not be happy about that. I'm on the record right now. Fuck that. This gotta end. Like all this playing around, this gotta stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless Herb is about to go out there and play like Josh Hart and get like 8, 9 fucking rebounds a game, it gotta stop. Because the hit you take offensively is far too great at this stage in the game. It's far too great. So nah, man, they better not do that. Hell no. Louisiana Gal say, doesn't sound like the wave and stretching Hawkins is the option to them. Hey, I'm not really an idealist or an optimist necessarily, but I'll say the chances of them finding a move, including Hawkins, it's tough for me to see it. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm just thinking about the big salary. I ain't gonna say that. Like, for example, if you were to do like Herb and Hawkins for Jared Allen, I could see that being possible. Like, I could realistically see that. So I don't want to rule it out. But I almost feel like that deal would have happened already unless they just waiting on LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Paperboy, what's the deal, fam? Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, fam. Lewis. Calipil. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. Shout out to Lewis. Say salute to you, Chaz. Who from Summer League can make this squad this year? Which one takes Alvarado's minutes? I think you mean like in the Alvarado role, right? I think Buffkin has a chance, a very good chance. The last two games he hasn't shot as well, but the clutch gene has really come through at the end of the game. Hit some big buckets in both games. I think you see Pierre I think you see Pierre get a lot of Kenner minutes. I can see a world where Buffkin is kind of like with the team, traveling with the team, because I kind of think Buffkin is too good for Summer League at this point. He kind of dominated in the G League. So I would say Buffkin and Pierre are like my two locks, if I would say. Paperboy say, I believe Herb shot start falling or be big at those minutes. Yeah, I mean, I can see a world where, I mean, maybe if you play Sadiq Bey, you could help with your defensive rebounding because Sadiq Bey was really solid rebounding. But it's going to get to a point also to where you got too many high usage on ball players. But here's the good thing. The good thing is the majority of Sadiq Bey's 3-point shots came in catch and shoot situations, right? So he ain't like just pulling up off the dribble, letting them bitches go. But I don't know, dog. I kind of would just rather Sadiq be on the second unit. I'm not opposed to starting in that position just as a 3-and-D guy. I'm not opposed to starting Bryce McGowan's over Herb in that scenario. Bryce McGowan shot very well. I think he shot like nearly 40% on catch and shoot threes last season. And I just Herb got 2 bad shooting seasons in a row. DeJounte got 2 bad shooting seasons in a row. I just think it's too much pressure on the offense, and it's too much pressure on the defense because now, but since you can't shoot, you got to be extra elite defensively because motherfuckers gonna try to shoot you out the gym. Marvin say NBA as a whole got better. Next season is about to be a movie. Yeah, the NBA should, like, the influx of talent coming from this draft is going to be very exciting to see as well. Also, not going to be as much tanking. Louisiana Gal says Squalor, they take the first cap hit, gave him because they gave him a guaranteed second year, so no cap savings. Yeah. Yep. JB say even if we get Herb to that all defensive nod, he has best year shooting. You still wouldn't want him starting? No. Oh wait, and he had his best year shooting. I probably can live with it then more. Him shooting what, like close to 40% from beyond the arc that year and being all defensive guy, I can live with it more. But see, here's the thing as well. You also had Brandon Brandon didn't shoot, but Brandon was a threat defensively. Like, he drew double teams. Also, you had an incredible second unit that year. So the starting unit would have to just be so elite this upcoming year because you don't have a ton of on-ball creators. Like, Brandon could at least get to the mid-range and just kill motherfuckers with the midi. That's not really Trey's game. Trey is a 3 guy or getting all the way downhill. DeJounte, you know, he's really inefficient right now, but he can't really get to the rim either right now. So it'll be more, if you're lucky, if he gets to a highly contested mid-range jumper. So the spacing is just going to continue to collapse more and more and more. You also had Jonas Valanciunas that year setting screens, commanding double teams in the post, getting rebound. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just the makeup of the team has changed so significantly that I don't really know if Herb, even at that level, would help you offensively, if that makes sense. I think the team just changed too much. Lewis Johnson, what's happening with the homie? Said Herb is the bench player. Chaz, real rap. I don't care how much defense you play. I need buckets for every play on the court. You can't get that. Come off that pine. Yeah, I agree. And the fucked up part is like $20 million for a bench player. Man, you better be Alex Caruso level, like, on both sides. Like, you know, remember Alex Caruso was in the fucking Western Conference Finals getting 30, 20. Like, you know what I'm saying? 30 and 20. He's a 2-time champion. He's been to what? 3 Western at least 3 Western Conference Finals, if I'm not mistaken. Like, the dude got pelts on, you know, notches in his belt. So it just Nando said Buffy going to get that Bryce role from last year. Play him as much as you can on that 2-way. Yeah, that's what I would do as well. I would preserve that roster spot until the very last minute, but I would keep him on that 2-way. I would keep him on that 2-way line. They say Buffett on the 2-way. I can see if he can get past the injury bug. Yeah, I think the last couple seasons he's been relatively healthy. Hopefully that trend continues. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. That's just they Herb to come off the bench. If we keep him, I think he'll do well coming off the bench. Yeah, I just feel like Herb is a luxury at this point, man. I really do. An expensive luxury at that, like cocaine. You know, expensive, destructive luxury. Well, what's happening with you, Al? What's the deal, bro?
What's good, though?
I done fucked it up. Hold on. There we go. I'm cooling, brother. How you doing, man? Shout out to everybody in the building, man.
Yes, what's up, chat? What's up, chat? Everybody, Nando. I'm seeing. Listen, man. You know, if I ain't on the show, I actually follow the show. You hear me? So make sure y'all hit that like button as per always. I see the Herb discussion kind of taking place right now.
Yeah, I think because when you talk about the starting lineup, what was that with Janola Vic? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. I think because when you talk about upgrades and you want to have a high impact player, the main upgrade has to come at the 5 position. Like based on what you've seen just in summer league alone, where would you rank Yves or Queen as starting 5s in the Western Conference right now? Just based on every team we know in the starting
bottom,
5.
And I don't mean it disrespectfully, but the bottom, you have to, like, because I mean maybe above Golden State because but again, if you consider Porzingis a 5, none of them better than Porzingis. Is just Porzingis never healthy. yeah, right. Sacramento, what, like Sabonis day 5, so no, like even
Renard day 5. But even if Sabonis was day 5, he'd be
yeah. So it's like when you start thinking about like the bottom, maybe the Suns. I think we might have a chance with the Suns. Well, but again, they got the rotation. It depends on what you think of Malawak, because you got Mark Williams and Kamal Malawak, which they invested the 10th overall pick in.
That motherfucker ain't play at all last year.
Nah, he ain't getting many minutes, but he had a decent showing today. I wasn't overly impressed. Personally, and this is the part that's interesting. Malawak had 15 and 15, made threes, defended the rim, did everything you want him to do, right? His 15 and 15 didn't feel as impactful as Behringer's game 1.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And he only had 18 and 12. He
didn't even play the next game. He was like, all right.
Yeah, it was just like, and no, that's what you wanted. You need that dude. That's why, again, bro, I just keep going back to it. Like, again, I understand our rookies ain't playing, but like, I wanted Fierce to have that kind of moment. Like, come out, look like, oh, this motherfucker is incredible, and then just be done. Just be done. You don't need to see no more from Behringer after what you saw in game 1. And he didn't even look like perfect or nothing like that, but it's just like, oh yeah, he's physically stronger than everybody, affects the game. You know what I mean? So Malawak need to continue to play. But as far as the actual question, I don't know right now where they rank, because you can't. It's going based off Yves, in my opinion, and based off the resume. Yves wasn't even a full-time starter last year.
Like, and last year, he kind of got holed by the coach. Well,
he did.
That's the thing, too. Like, because we did see Yves take a step forward. Like, hold on, I'm getting a message real quick.
Yeah, you good. I'll carry it till you get ready.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm sorry. I apologize,
Shaq. No, you good. You good.
Yeah, it's that time of the year. But so I will say, we saw Yves take a step forward last year. Now, who knows how greater that step could have been? How much more? Yeah. How much better that step could have been had he got consistent minutes. There was some nights where Yves was getting like 8 minutes. So you going from starting the lion's share of games last year, where Yves showed some highs last year. He showed some highs this year as well, particularly versus Orlando. So I think we're counting on Yves taking the step. And the Mosley step, and the Mosley factor. We're already kind of seeing the Sham guy factor, and we count on that 3rd-year leap from Yves. But as we like this going back to summer league for a second, when you see Milo Walk, you see Johan Barringer, you see like some of the other bigs. And shout out to the homie Nando in the building, man. Nando said, "Yo, L, keep doing them during game lives. It was better than Danny Green." Yo, I'll be watching. If I'm not listening to L, I'm watching the game on mute. I ain't gonna lie.
I appreciate y'all though.
Yeah, fuck that. I'll be listening to old school R&B. If I wasn't listening to, I damn sure gonna listen to Reggie Miller.
That West center, like the West centers specifically, and this is the part that's crazy. I don't think the West teams in a whole, like as a whole, are great, but the West center position is challenging. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If we just go through some names, like off the top, well, Zubac's going, thankfully. But you got
so the Clippers don't have a center.
Yeah, the Clippers don't have a center.
Golden State, depending on how you feel. What you think of Dallas?
Gafford, I think Gafford. Look, I don't think Gafford's very good, but I think Gafford's slightly better than Yves, and
you gotta give him the nod.
Yeah, he's definitely better than Queen. So let's just take Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and Denver out of the equation, right?
Yeah,
I think since I give Sengun the nod offensively, I'm giving Rudy the nod offensively.
Obviously,
I'm giving Wesley Walker Kessler the nod. I think you got a chance with Phoenix. You got a chance with Portland.
You don't have a chance with Memphis.
You don't got a chance with Memphis. Wait, who Memphis center is? Edie
and Boozer down there. That shit gonna be miserable, dog.
But Boozer just a power forward. I say you got a chance with Memphis because Edie cool, but like you was up 20 against Memphis several times with Edie. Like Edie
was he? I thought Edie was
one game. No, I think one game it might have been at home when he walked you down.
Yeah.
Then you was cool with Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. better player than Boozer defensively.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think Memphis center. I think Edie, because Edie wasn't healthy at all pretty much last season. Yeah. And then his rookie season when he was on the court, he played relatively well. He was impactful.
Oh, he was. Wait, so who's rookie center?
Edie. I'm saying I think
Edie a fucking dog. Yeah, went healthy.
Healthy.
Yeah, so I think. I mean, niggas bad. I don't know. Like I'm gonna say with the injured people, the injured people like the toss up, right?
What you think of Klingen?
I think Klingen cool. Klingen solid. I think
we got a shot against Klingen, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I say I think Portland got that center though. They got Robert Williams. They got Klingen. They just brought in Michael Potter. They got some versatility. I think the two teams where you head and shoulders better at the center position, it might not even be fucking two teams. It might be one team. Is the Clippers.
Yeah.
And everybody else just got you. I think Renard is awesome. I think who's starting at the 5 for Utah right now? I think you got Utah at the 5.
Well, because you got Triple J and Laurie.
Well, they center might be like
unless they start Nurk.
I think Nurk might got you. I think Nurk might got you.
The big issue is that it remind me of, and this is the issue with the last.
Oh, Rob Will went to Boston. I thought Rob Will went back to Portland.
Nah, Rob is in Portland. That's your boy, man.
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitch Rob in Boston.
Oh yeah.
But the issue you had with the last 2 seasons is everybody had missed opportunities. Like if, for example, the year that David Griffin had an opportunity, like, dog, you could have, I guess you couldn't fire Willie, but hopefully if the organization was moving forward, you should have assessed Borrego that season to figure out
the year before last.
Yeah, year before last. So we could have got most of that sorted out.
According to my sources back then,
that shit wasn't flying.
Back then, Gail was just like, man, fuck no. And you know, at that time, if you Gail, like, nigga, I'm already paying like you and
now so the issue is, I think the big issue with that would have been is if he would have fired Willie, he wouldn't have made Borrego the interim. I think he would have like gave him a job. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? As
he
opposed to giving him the interim.
He brought in Borrego to replace Willie. And like Borrego and Griff, they were campaigning hard for that job. That's why I don't give Borrego no pass, because I'm like, bitch, you was all behind the scenes, like campaigning hard for that job. You like, nigga, you got it. And you got it with what, 70 games left. Drop your nuts. So it ain't work out. Yeah, so go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, like, that year, I think that was a missed assessment year, right? Because I understand why they didn't make the decision.
Also, last year was hurt though, so I don't know if it fair.
But that's cool, because if Borrego get the interim, then we see what we see, and we ain't gotta like, he could have had his whole all season, you know what I mean? And you probably could have figured that out this year. But take all of that away. This year was another missed opportunity, because again, we come into the season with questions at the 5, when you could have just said, listen, dog, I'm starting I'm starting Yves at the 5. Or I'm like, especially once the season was down, right? Starting Herb Jones and Sadiq Bey and Zion at your 3, 4, 5 position, it don't do nothing for you in the grand scheme of things. So like, I just think we missed, like, as we're talking about the 5 positions specifically, like, we just don't know what Yves is, to be honest.
I kind of think we know. I kind of think, I don't think that there is no mystery in the front office as it pertains to Yves. I think they view him as a solid rotational big / spot starter, and he got some upside. I think everybody know Queen can't start at the 5. So like, I think they know for sure they need a center. It's just a matter of like, centers going for big bucks right now in this offseason, especially. So it's like, how are you paying a premium to get that center? Like, and what are you comfortable with spending? How much does winning mean to you at the end of the day? That's what it's gonna boil down to. But go ahead, bro.
Nah, I just would have loved to see Yves get enough opportunity to get comfortable with the starting lineup and see what kind. Like, I understand that he might not be a starting center, but like, can he be Robert Williams to a degree? You know what I mean?
Robert Williams was very good at one time.
He was, but he also had opportunity. I'm not saying that Yves would be Robert Williams. I'm just saying, like, his first year coming off his first season was very promising. You know what I mean? You was coming into the second year like, okay, we got a starting center. Like, that's how people felt coming into the start.
You think people felt that way?
I think so. Even if it was more so like he's unproven, I think you came into the year like, oh, we got a second year young guy, athletic. Again, his rookie year, he averaged what, like 9 and like almost a double almost, right? He started, what was it, 70 something games for you?
Yep.
And was decent defensively with not really much experience. And to Yves' credit, during the season, he didn't look well in either summer, but during the season, he had performed better. I ain't even an Yves guy. I'm fucking defending Yves. He had performed well when he had got opportunity to go play. So I just wish we would have had, like, I feel like we know what Yves is, but at the same time, I don't quite know, because they didn't give him like the extended run with, like, again, with DeJounte being healthy and with Zion being there. Like, you just never know. And then towards the end of the season, when he actually played, he looked okay. So I'm not saying he's fucking great, but Walker Kessler ain't great either, in my opinion. That motherfucker just made 32 mil. I'm not saying that Yves is Walker Kessler. That's not my point. But like, if you look historically at Walker Kessler, like, I think just got 32 mil, and I still don't know what he is.
I think Yves is a very, very solid rotational big who can spot start for you, and it wouldn't be a problem. Like, Jacques Landale can start a few games. Huff started some games. I think Yves is as good as those guys, if not slightly better. I think everyone's got their strengths. I think Yves' strengths are more on the defensive end for his rim protection and offensively as far as like, rolling to the rim, putbacks and things of that nature. Now, do I want Yves? I think Yves is like a 22 minute a game guy, maybe 25 minutes if he's really got it going. But do I really? I don't think I want Yves playing. I damn sure don't want him playing 15 minutes. I think he deserves way more minutes than that.
Yeah.
But I also think he's not like a 30-minute guy if it boils down to it either. So I think that's really the thing. That's why I'm not really tripping so much on having a de facto starting big. I think you have to have different bigs you could throw at certain opponents in certain situations. Like even if you had guys with, like, I don't think Mitchell Robinson is a starting caliber center.
I don't think so either.
I think Mitchell Robinson should play.
I think Mitchell and Yves is very similar.
Yeah, I think Mitch should play about 20 minutes a game. Like I don't think Mitch should play extended minutes. I think Robert Williams with his injury history should only play X amount of minutes a game. The only thing with the Pelicans and with Yves is that those are bigger bodied guys. So if you are going up against like big, strong centers, how are you going to challenge Yves? Yeah, you got to outrun them. You gotta with Klingon, you gotta outrun them, because if they just going back to the basket, you really ain't got no wins in that situation. So it'll be tough.
Another thing too with Yves necessarily is like
he better.
It'd be nice if he was put in an opportunity, like in a position to use his advantages, because again, with Edie and Klingon and some of the other bigs, they don't run like Yves could get up and down the floor. You know what I mean? So what I'm hoping for is we put Yves more in a more useful situation, the way he could be his best version of himself, even if it is only for 25 minutes or, you know what I mean, or 30 minutes. And again, if Yves continues to get stronger as well and can be solid, then I think, I'm not saying he's going to be like a top center in the league and no shit like that. But do I think he could be like a quality, like Cater? No, Cater was starting for Boston. Like you could do what Cater was doing.
Cater. Boy.
Yeah.
Cater. Yeah, I think again. See, it gets tough too, because. And I like Cater a lot, what he was able to do. I think similar to Yves, like he's a rim running big, get up there and contest some shots, put back. I think Cater is probably a slightly better athlete, and he's a little bigger. So and they had such a great defensive system that I think Yves definitely could do that. I think the thing with Yves is going to be if the Pelicans can get defensive rebounds, then you can get out in transition, and then you can run the break and things of that nature. Whereas with the Pelicans, if they were going to do like a too big lineup, who's ever at the 4 has to rebound like incredibly, and they can't be a total liability on defense or liability on offense. And that's what the roster construction get a little strange, because it's like, if I say if Trey here, if I say Trey, Zion, and DeJounte, that's 3 right there. So the final 2, let's say Yves is the 5. Who's the 4 that's not a total liability on either side and is going to rebound and help you create a break? And I think that's where it gets a little tough. That's why I think there has to. I know Mosley spoke about this when he spoke about defense, but there's a difference. Like when he said, there's a difference between can't and won't. I think the Pelicans have to presume that you got guys on the roster who can't rebound at a high rate, so you have to go maybe get one of those guys, or maybe you just assign that duty to one of the lower usage guys, like a Bryce McGowan's. I think at this stage, he's more athletic than a Herb. He probably can crash and get rebounds and help start a break and run a break effectively. Maybe.
I think you have to, while we talking about being like center by committee, you have to rebound by committee as well, right?
Yeah.
you can, because how the roster is currently constructed, and you don't have like a Joker who's just gonna go out there and get
He just
50
big, so he just gonna like
he
just give me
just
the
get
ball.
boards, right?
Yeah.
If that's not the
That's a good
case,
comparison by Ryan. That's a good one. Claxton, yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
See his peak as a Claxton.
If hold on for a second, bro.
Good.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think again, like the Pelicans don't have like a huge bodied center where rebounds are going to fall into their laps. I don't think one's necessarily available. I think the best case scenario right now is for them using Herb as some sort of leverage to go out and get a Jared Allen or go out and get just there's a number of centers who are available. I don't like Gafford's contract. I wouldn't be necessarily happy with the Gafford situation, but you know, with the defense, I mean, sorry, with the game rebounding, as Ryan put it, as you put it as well, it also depends on what kind of defense we playing here. Like, are we switching everything, and are we who's crashing, who's leaking out? Like, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
I'm interested to see, because, and that's why I'm having a good time, honestly, and I'm so glad that I like studied some of the Orlando film, like the way that I think Mosley wants to do it, and I'm seeing it translate in a small way to the summer league team, and it already just looks differently from game to game, right? Like Barrage, in the first game you got out rebounded pretty bad, right? But again, Barrage out there, and even in that game until the fourth quarter, while you was getting out rebounded, you still was like fighting and in the game, right? And then the second game, who did they play the second game? Charlotte. And the comeback against Charlotte, you got out rebounded, but again, you were still able to get like timely rebounds and stuff, but it progressed. And then in this game, you did significantly better in the rebounding area, with the gang rebounding and them controlling the game. So what I'm saying is, like, I think Mosley schematically is going to be a small advantage. And then if you can hopefully add, like, again, Zion is still a supreme athlete. Like, I hope not only are they going to make the rebounding a priority, because I don't feel like the rebounding was just like overly emphasized before on the defensive end. It's like, yeah, you talk about rebounding, but you could tell by the way that they would leak out on like on off, like when it was in transition. If on defense you see Zion leak out from time to time, Hurley, like everybody leaking, it's like, no, get your asses down there, go help secure the rebound, and then we'll do that. I'm seeing the Mosley emphasis on those things, and I think that's gonna help translate just to where it's just like a cleaner system to help out. And then I think that'll help. Not to mention, if you do bring somebody in, you'll probably not play as many small lineups. So I just think they're gonna do everything possible to minimize getting destroyed from a rebounding standpoint.
I think it gets to a point where you can only put so much duct tape on this shit. I think they're gonna have to import a rebounder, because I just don't think the physicality is there for the Pelicans. Like, I think Zion is such a high usage player, and how he scores is such like a, not difficult, but it takes a lot of like physical toll. So that being the case, like even if he was out averaging 8 rebounds, it's like that would help, but that's only 2 more than like, you know, what he typically averages. So it would be like, y'all, I say that to shout out to Love Like Melton, said, why don't y'all mention the 280-pound Mount Zion as a help rebounder? Because it's like, I got low usage guys who, that's why I got centers. That's why I got low usage guys. That's why I got motherfuckers who don't do nothing else. Like that's why you're here. The glue guys, the quote unquote Swiss Army knife type players. That has to be your role. That has to be what you excel at. And I think, even shout out to Sadiq Bey. I thought he rebounded very well. I think DeJounte rebounds very well for a guard as well. I think if Trey and Zion could help, like let's say if they both add an additional, I think Trey averaged like 5 rebounds or something along those lines. So maybe if he could get to 7, maybe Zion get to 8. But I think you need someone out there that's capable of averaging 9-10 rebounds consistently, and not just like offensive putbacks and things of that nature. Because if you just think about the sequences, and Zion is another guy who's a very good offensive rebounder. So if Zion is like kind of like Eve, so if Zion's out there and he getting like 2-3 putbacks a game, that's 3 rebounds right there. He might average 8. So the other, so that's what, like 5 rebounds, 4 or 5 defensive rebounds that he's getting. I think your low usage guys, the guys who either you're just a catch and shoot guy or you're a 3-and-D guy, you gotta be the motherfucker out there that's going out there wreaking havoc, getting them rebounds, 6-7 a game. Like there's like Najee was able to do, even Jose was able to get a couple rebounds, even at his stature. Like your lower usage guys, they got to really rise to the occasion, and that's why I'm really an advocate for upgrading the Herb position, because I just don't think Herb gives you enough on either side to make up for the deficiencies on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure I hit that like button. What do you think of this? Shout out to the homie Ryan. He said, rank these guys at center: Eve, Carter Jr., Queen, Goga Batadze, and Mo Wagner.
Carter Jr.'s first, and Carter Jr., Eves, Queen, Goga, Mo, most likely.
That's how you
Goga some trash to me, and Mo coming off injury, and he barely play. So I would probably say Carter Jr. He's the most experienced. He's been starting for the last, I don't know how many years. Like I think he's a solid starting center, bro. I think he's a solid starting.
Yeah.
Carter Jr. Yeah. Like if again, he just does, and that's another thing too. It's hard to really judge Mosley's rebounding from Orlando, for example, because their front line was a big team, like Paolo, Franz, Carter. It's like that's some big fucking players. So at the end of the day, like just from a physical standpoint, like they take up so much space as they just keep people away from them, and they play like at the rim as well too. So it's just kind of like they could defend a lot better. So it's gonna be interesting to see. What I'm hoping is because I think they're gonna do a better job of team rebounding. But if not, one thing we saw with the second game also against Orlando is like, okay, you was getting killed on the rebounds. If you getting killed on the rebounds, you gotta make it up somewhere else. Defensively, can you turn the other team over like repeatedly, right?
Yeah.
Can you make up for the possessions that you lose by not being able to rebound? Can you make that up by taking possessions away from teams and getting like because in the game against and you got to take care of the ball. But for example, the game against Charlotte, dog, they got out rebounded by like 20, but they won the turnover battle. They 23-7 or some shit like that. They outscored them 31-7 in transition. So like if you gonna get destroyed on the boards, you gotta destroy somebody in another aspect of the game.
Yeah, you got to find it, and that's why ultimately, like looking at Goga Batadze, for me, I think I would rank it. I probably have Eve, Carter, Goga, Queen, Mo.
You got Eve over Carter?
No, I'm sorry, Carter, Eve, Goga, Queen, Mo. And the reason I say that is because Goga averaged 5 rebounds. He played 15 minutes. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, I imagine if he would have played like 30 minutes, he'd have had like 10 of them bitches. But I say that also to say, and like, I don't think Goga necessarily good, but what I'm saying is more so like the thing, not saying Mosley isn't a great defensive mind, because I do believe he is. But what I am saying, as much to your point, it's when you got a bunch of big physical motherfuckers, it helps what you're trying to do. Whereas with the Pelicans, they don't have a lot of those types on the roster. Like even if you got a guy who's not like physically strong necessarily, like Isaac, like he's not a big cock diesel motherfucker, but the dude looked like a monster out there. He got a crazy wingspan. He's
athletic as hell.
Yeah, defensive animal out there. Whereas with the Pelicans, it's like you got a bunch of skinny guys, and most of them not short, but most of them not like especially tall either. So like that's why I think from a physicality standpoint, I hear that they want to play that way. And shout out to guys, Sham guys saying, yeah, you know, we want to be the most physical team. We want to do this, you know, and I understand that. I think you see some evidence of that, but it's easy to do that when you're playing against people who not NBA bound necessarily. What was that? What's your name? What was that, homie? Whereas when you get into the league and now you playing like the big dogs 4 times a year and these like real professionals, how can you balance the scales? And I don't feel like those answers are on the roster currently, at least not the center position. I think if Eve had just had a solid backup, it would help. And like you said, as far as
what do you think of Carlo?
I think Carlo's a 4.
Okay.
I think physically, I think Carlo's gifts are athletic, right? Athleticism. But I don't think he's a center. Just like Santi Aldama, I think Santi Aldama is a power forward. Like, yeah, you know, even though like Carlo's 6'11", I'm like, you need to play next to a big. That's not your strength. You can be a nice 10-minute, 12-minute guy, but his strength to me is at a 4.
Do you think, and this is like I'm thinking this out as I ask or whatever, but like, do you think if you can't like dominate the 5 at rebounding, right? Like, can you hold your own, but can you dominate every other position and that make it up? Like rebounding
wise?
Yeah, like if you're 4s, like if you're 4, 3, 2, and you're 1 to a degree, if all of those people win their rebounding matchups, right? Does that balance out, I guess? And I just need your 5 to kind of like not get destroyed. But if that's the case, like, can that somewhat balance out if I don't know who's at your 4, but if Zion should be able damn near to out rebound, unless if he's at like the 3 or the 4, I think he should be able for the most part to out rebound like most of those, or at least rebound at the level of most of those positions.
Yeah, if he's like a 2, he should be able to out rebound the opposing 2.
Yeah,
in practice, yeah.
So I'm just wondering, like, if you can't like out rebound at the 5 specifically, can you do it at other positions? And then as a whole, it kind of helps out, because that's what Josh Hart does. Like, you just can't fucking account for, not you can't, but like the Knicks account for Josh Hart impacting the rebound game. Like, that's just what he does. He's unique in that way.
I think too is because Josh ain't good at nothing else. So like that's what like that, and that's where, again, like to your point, that's where your low usage guy who crash the glass and dive on the floor and do all that shit. That's what you have to be as a super invaluable type of player. Like, that's what they would need at the 3 or the 4. Just a straight up junkyard dog, I do everything type player, because
like Herb getting 6 rebounds changes a lot.
Yeah, like Herb getting 6, 7 rebounds changes quite a bit, especially if he's not a total liability offensively. But like, I think, especially if they're defensive rebounds also, because you can start the break, you could, you know. I just don't think the answer's on the roster. Like, the more I look at it, like, I don't think, because again, I'm like looking at everybody, I'm like, no, I don't see it. Because I only say that because I'm like Zion. I know Zion can go average about 8, 9 rebounds. But how many of them going to be defensive rebounds, right? Let's say if he went up, let's say he averaged 8 rebounds and 4 to 5 of them were defensive. That would help. But I still think you need, like, we had games versus a motherfucker like Precious Achiuwa, who, again, super high motor, low usage guy. This motherfucker getting 13, 14 rebounds. Maxine Renard, just some people just super skilled at that. And I think like that's something you have, like, I think the front office have to account for. Like, this nigga don't do nothing. Like, Dennis Rodman was a hell of a perimeter defender and a rebounder. Like, he had no other like real skill. And I think sometimes, like, Mitchell Robinson to me ain't good at nothing in the NBA but like like defense and rebound. Like, when you watch him in open runs, he got a bag. But in the NBA, he got a role, and his role is defensive rebounding. So I think you gotta find a guy who just like, look, I know you excel at this. You might got some other shit in your bag, but you a big, strong motherfucker. You gotta go rebound. And I think it gotta come from the front court. Shout out to Bot Dog. That's a good point. But this is what I'm about to say. I think it gotta come from the front court. Because if you even with Herb, if you're the reason I say Herb gotta rebound more and not Zion, because for one, they both play along the perimeter. Right, they're both going to defend the perimeter, so it's hard to really get rebounds when you're on the defending the perimeter. Because if you block a shot, it's up to the nigga behind you to get the rebound. Right. But also, I'll say this: if you not doing nothing else, you got like if you don't have a higher usage, you got to rebound. Like you know what I'm saying, you got to do something because it's kind of hard for like backcourt players, or like if you're a three that's not like a huge three, like for example, what's his name? Scotty Barnes is a very special player. Like as far as like he's 6'9", got a crazy wingspan, he rebound like a monster. His offense is kind of like it's okay. But as far as rebounding and him as a physical like specimen, pause. Yeah, he's just a motherfucking monster. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude is a beast. I think the Pelicans don't necessarily have that because where Zion is an incredible athlete physically and he's strong physically, he not like a watch out, like box out type person, his arms just so long, there's nothing you can do.
Like he just gets rebounds. He just naturally gets rebounds. He has to fight. He has to like use his athleticism to get rebounds. Like he fights for rebounds, basically. Like as opposed to JV used to just, you know, like he just just naturally take up so space.
Yeah, like or even Nurkic. Like Nurkic averaged damn near double this year. He could just like the ball.
How would you feel? I got two questions for you. One, so I don't put too much into these, but I'm gonna just ask, like they like as a team, they were like 15th in rebounding last year. Do that mean anything to you?
Say that one more time to me.
So like as a team, like their ranking amongst the NBA was like right in the middle for like rebounding for the season. Do that mean anything to you or like not so much?
Not really.
Okay, because I don't either, because when you watch the games, like a lot of teams over the course of the season, you know how numbers
fluctuate.
Numbers average out and whatnot. And also like if you're a good rebounding team, like good rebounding teams rebound when they need to rebound. Like, you know what I mean? So that was one thing. And then two, how would you feel? Do you think a player like a Steven Adams, hypothetically, if you got that type of player on this team, do you think he would, I guess, solve some of those issues that we're talking about?
He's an older guy now, but I think in practice he's a hell of a screener. He can rebound, be tough physically. I think Jericho got signed. James Beard, he got picked up. I think the Bucks brought him back if I'm not mistaken.
I think they did.
And shout out to Wealthy Few. He said Jordan was a major impact on the boys. Like you talking Michael Jordan or DeAndre Jordan?
Nah, I think I don't know.
He might be talking about DeAndre. Because now DeAndre did help him get a bit because he's
did do a good job when he's
a big body. Shit, Kevon Looney was getting 5 rebounds in the first quarter because he's just a big body. Like
this gonna sound crazy. DeAndre gonna be in the rotation for me next year.
I hope the fuck not.
This is what I mean. If we talking about if Yves gonna play 20 minutes, right? Let's say Yves gonna play 20 to 25 minutes.
Wait, is you presuming they don't make any other moves?
Yeah, this is assuming they don't make any move. If they don't make any other move, no, I need 5 minutes of you just being able to like go get some rebounds. Like go get some. You ain't gonna start or nothing like that. I'm telling. Listen, say what you want. Say what you want. When they had some, like when they played with a center, and I don't think DeAndre was great, but that second half of the season when they had they were trying to make their play in push or whatever. part of the thing that stabilized the unit was not fucking starting Herb at the 5. Like DeAndre wasn't even great, but he was just a big guy being able, you know what I mean? Just at certain points of the game, again, the 3-game win streak, a lot of that was DeAndre just being a
big
guy.
being an actual center. I just don't think he got that a night.
No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking for it. I'm not asking for it tonight. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's what I was thinking. Because I agree. I was like, it's about 2 games.
If you don't make any moves, right? Because initially, I'm assuming we trying to go rebound by committee, right? We gang rebounding. Eves, Carlo, Queen, all your bigs currently. And this is all assuming they don't bring anybody in, right? But if I gotta just for 2-3 minutes a game to give y'all motherfuckers a breather or something like that, dog, what you gonna do? You gonna play Herb or Sadiq Bey?
I think I'll say this, if he can do it, cool.
Man,
I don't think he got it. I ain't gonna lie, because
you better throw everything at the wall.
Look, he played the minutes versus Boston, when he started versus Boston. By the next game versus Denver, it was like, all right, let's all right, this was fun while it lasted. It was. I just think that's why
he wasn't even supposed to be in a rotation at all at that point. They threw him to the wolves.
That's why it all boils down to you gotta go get a center. you gotta go get a center. No matter what, it goes back to.
I agree. But this I know it sound wild, and I understand how it sounds. But I'm saying when they were playing, Borrego was playing them. I'm talking about when they had the little stretch. He was playing them like 20 minutes a game, bro. I'm not saying go out there for fucking 20 minutes, 18 minutes. Like,
and it's also something to say. There's also something to say that I don't think DeAndre Jordan even had like a training camp.
No, like he probably ain't think he was gonna be on no team. So I'm not, again, though, I am not saying I want DeAndre in the rotation. I'm saying if you don't sign a big, right, and you just gave him this money, like I gotta be able to try and throw you out there at some point as the 4th, 5th guy. So you gotta do something. So I'm telling, I'm just fuck that.
I think
fuck that. JV ain't that much, like, respectfully, dog. And I know we were talking about bringing JV back. JV ain't that much better than DeAndre Jordan right now. I'm not saying he's not better, but I think much better.
I think JV going to Europe, but I think Mondale's saying that because JV got he still got his legs, for as like he been playing consistent minutes the last few years. Whereas like DeAndre kind of just like Udonis Haslem at this point. He still averaged about 6 rebounds last year in his minutes. And there was a noticeable difference just from DeAndre playing last year. That's how bad the center rotation was outside of Yves. Outside of Yves' minutes. So it's just like, you gotta go get a center, because just if it boils down to that, right? Because, and shout out to Targeter for Life, that would be my target at this point as well, no pun intended. Nick Richards, I think he's probably one of the better big men left on the market. Now, I'm shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure I hit that like button. I would say if it boils down to the 15th man got to get some run, we kind of fucked. But see, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. If all you needed was rebounding, then it don't matter what the 15 man, like, if you got to play, because it's cool, because you're strong everywhere else. But the fact that you need rebounding and 3-point shooting at this juncture, then it's like, all right, it's tough, because like, I'll give you an example. Remember, like, when you didn't need rebounding, because you had JV, you had Zion, you had Brandon, you had everybody, and you just needed more 3-point shooting, and they said, all right, we're gonna go get Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan balled the fuck out, right?
Matt Ryan shooting 50% from the 3.
And all he do is shoot. Like, he's a two-way guy. All he do is shoot. He could be a second rounder. It don't even fucking matter. That's all his role is. That's what you need. He gonna come in to help you out. If the Pelicans had a guy, if the Pelicans were strong in the 3-point shooting and only lack defensive rebounding, then it would be like, all right, well, fuck, you can sign a motherfucker off the street. If all he gonna do is rebound like a Bassey who got signed, or all he gonna do is rebound like anybody else, cool. If he knows that's what's gonna keep him in the league, no motherfucking problem. But the fact that we got a couple holes in the roster, ain't no way in hell you better be dependent on no motherfucking 15 man. You gotta go. Look, we can have one problem. We can have two. We can have a shooting problem and be cool with the rebounding. We can't have a rebounding and shooting problem. We got to go into the season with one of these motherfuckers addressed.
I'm wondering and slightly hoping. I don't want to necessarily say hoping. I'm interested to see how they approach again, because I think part of the team was constructed differently that made them a better rebounding team in years past, right? Also, I just personally think that there was no emphasis put on rebounding specifically, right? Borrego talked about transition, getting out, playing fast. Those dudes like Trey, Herb, Z, those dudes weren't crashing the fucking boards trying to get no rebounds. Everybody trying to get out on the break, right? So I'm just wondering how much you can solve. I do believe we need to get somebody, granted, but how much can you solve internally by just saying, again, if I'm the coach and I come in and it was like, this the shit that y'all was doing? No, you're not going to be able to rebound like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of it? And again, I prefer to have the same thing with the shooting. It's like, I prefer you go get a shooter and then be like, all right, we tried to address the shooting. But then even if you go get the shooter, similar to what you said, like, unless you're getting shooting from like a rebounding position, then it's kind of like, how do I get the shooter on the court if he only can shoot? Because now I got to sacrifice the defense or something else.
I think personnel wise, like this going back to like even with Orlando's roster, like you mentioned, that's a big fucking team with Goga, Isaac, Wendell, Franz, Mo,
Paulo, aggressive player.
Yeah, like that's some big motherfuckers.
Yeah, Anthony Black, not small.
Yeah, Anthony Black 6'7". Yeah, like Will Kane, like 6'7". And they like some of them dudes is like physically imposing. Whereas when I just look at with the Pelicans, I'm like, you really only got two physically imposing players in Zion and Bay. And if I throw what's his name, DeAndre out there, who may or may not play, that's you know. Now for shooting, you can say, all right, well maybe Herb is going to shoot a little better. Trey already shoots. Carlo probably gonna get some more looks because with the Pelicans, it's really Poole bounces back. Because with the Pelicans, a lot of the issue is attempts. So if you could bring Carlo's attempts up to like 4 attempts a game, get a couple more people, you know, a couple attempts. Like you playing Bryce more minutes, maybe he's gonna have more attempts.
I will say this also watching the summer league, and how, and again, it's summer league, but they have not been like outshot from a volume standpoint. And again, I get it that is different, but you could tell the emphasis is also on, even in summer, shooting the threes, right? Like they haven't been like, because I'm gonna have to go back and look at some of the numbers, the summer league numbers for last year, even though it was, you know, it wasn't good, but I'm gonna go back and check and see. But like, if you watch the first couple games, they've been shooting as many or more threes as the other teams. So that's another thing too, like how you was mentioning the volume. If the coaching could just get the volume of threes balanced, right? Well, no, you got to think we were getting outshot by like 23s a game.
Well, and this is where I was headed with that, right? I was saying like for certain guys, let's just say Jordan shoots better. Let's say he takes 7-8 threes, he just shoots better. Let's say he shoots at like 36%. Let's say the DeJounte don't shoot 29%. Let's say he shoots 33%, 35%. Yeah. And like there's a couple other guys, Carlo shoots more threes. That would help you from an efficiency standpoint. Bryce getting more minutes help you from a volume standpoint. Carlo getting more attempts help you from a volume standpoint. I still think like even if you shooting more, I don't like because I know the point of emphasis last year was put on Herb shooting more threes, and it's just like, but yo, what if he can't shoot?
Yes.
So him shooting 10 of them bitches, it's like, all right, but it's Herb. Like, oh, all right, but it's DeJounte, or it's whoever just shooting and missing. It's Hawkins, whoever, it could be anybody in this scenario. So it's just like you got to get some niggas that can shoot, or you got to get some niggas that can rebound. Because at least you can get a defensive rebound. You can start a fast break. You could, there's other opportunity to create open looks. You can hit the trailing man and Trey for a three, hit the trailing man and Bryce, hit the trailing man, Sadiq Bey, Poole, etc. You can hit those guys and create open threes. Whereas if you can't, or if you got a guy like Yves who can get an offensive board, Zion get offensive boards, kick out to a wide open 3-point shooter, you create more efficient looks for yourself. But you can't leave those two spots open. And that right now today, I think that's kind of like the issue is that you got two gaping holes, pause, and the answer for either one probably ain't on the roster just yet. Shout out to Louisiana guy. I think this is a good question because we happen to be on this subject right now. L, do you think the 3-point shooting or the rebounding is the bigger issue? I'm gonna say today I think it's the rebounding.
Like my gut reaction is to say the rebounding because you just don't have the size. And then I could say if I just play Jordan Poole, your 3-point shooting is naturally going to be better, right? Like if he just, again, he wasn't playing like at all, like, you know what I mean? Even if it's off the bench, right? I think having Fear started to shoot better as the season went on. Hopefully DeJounte could get a little bit closer to, and again, I'm not asking for people to even be good. You just can't be fucking awful.
You gotta be respectable.
Yeah, like if Herb shoots 33 to 34%, like on 4 or 5 attempts, like we could live with that. That's not 29% from 3. Huh?
You're more likely to die with that.
Well, I'm just saying.
I get your point. I totally get your point.
It's just like, dog, like so for example,
them bitches gonna be wide open too, nigga. You better shoot 36%.
Just shoot them bitch. Go back to the corner, dog. Just go back to shooting them bitches from the corner in the wing where you was hitting them holes at, and that's really is again 30% on like 30% on like 4 or 5 attempts is like what 1 for 3, 2 for 5. You know what I'm saying? Like at 5. Bro, at 5, like you shouldn't shoot more than 5 a game. Like and this is how I see Herb shooting going, right? Like if I make the first one, you can shoot the second one. If I make the second one, you can shoot the third one. If I shoot the first 2 and they misses, I'm not shooting the third one. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
So like you gotta like put control on that shit. But I think you can create enough 3-point shooting to a degree on the roster with Sadiq Bey, Jordan Poole, Bryce. If Peavy shot the 3 a little bit better, Fears I think will shoot more of them.
Yeah, I forgot about Fears. Yep.
So I just think you could create more 3-point shooting with the roster and like scheme and style of play. I think the 3-point shooting is gonna just naturally be better. Not saying it's gonna be good. I just think it's gonna be better. The rebound, I think, is more of a priority, I guess. Because again, if you rebound it well, we might not need to shoot the 3 as good anyway.
I think Bryce needs to get more of her minutes next year. Because I'm looking at the numbers right now, and it's just something to say like, look, you just may not have the personnel to do certain things. Not, like with the 3-point shooting, though, again, this is an anomaly. You only got really one lion's share of evidence to really track this. But I'll say like last year, Bryce shot 40% on 2 threes, most of those threes being catch and shoot opportunities. If that's Bryce McGowan was in the corner instead of Herb Jones in the corner, and he's able to keep up this level of efficiency, I think it would help tremendously. Shout out to Bree. Bree, that's a name I say a lot. Rashawn Holmes. former King. I don't know if he's back in America yet, but that's
I don't know what he got going on.
Yeah, I don't know what he got going on, but he's like his defensive rebounding rate was high when he did play, and he's younger than DeAndre, but fuck, who ain't at this point?
Let me ask a question for you. Ask this question too. While we talking about the shooting and stuff like that, do you think Hawkins plays?
No.
Like, you don't think they gonna even try? Like, let's say he don't get moved. You don't think they gonna even try and play him at all? Like, he just gonna be dead.
I don't see where he gets minutes. And again, that goes to another fucking point. You got too many perimeter players that don't do the things you need. That's what it boils down to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Micah and Herb, they're too much of a deficiency on offense at this stage, particularly Herb, and they don't rebound and they don't shoot well. So it's like, yeah, they can help you defensively, but when they're on the court, if they can't shoot at a decent clip or at least be like a crazy rebounder or a crazy turnover machine, then you're going to be playing 5-on-4, generally speaking. So if I look at this perimeter, let's just say I just happen to have Hawkins still on the team. Let's say if it's Hawkins.
I'm not to cut you off, but this the part that's crazy is like if that dude became the shooter that you drafted him to be, it's like, oh, well, that's the shooter. I'm not saying that.
I still don't think he would get minutes.
Even if he shot, like if the shot was like if he shot it well, right? Like expected. You don't think he would still play?
I think he's just too much of a liability everywhere else. Too skinny.
That's interesting.
He's too short. He just can't. He just don't have no other tangible skill. He don't finish like at a crazy rate. Like he don't draw fouls. He don't rebound. Like he just really don't do much of anything. And that's like the fucked up part about drafting these quote unquote specialists who aren't special at what they do, because you could get a guy like that off the street in theory, right? Like again, just check out this perimeter rotation. DeJounte, Fears, Poole if he's still here, Herb if he's still here, Trey if he's still here. No, let me take Trey out of the equation. But DeJounte, Fears, Poole, this is just guards. Hawkins, Bryce. That's 5 motherfuckers right there. If I throw Herb in, that's 6. That's 6 quote unquote backcourt players that need minutes. And it's like, well, a couple of y'all ain't really the answer to none of my problems. So where would you play? And that's the fucked up thing. That's why it's like it's hard to turn over a roster in the offseason. And it's hard, especially when you got like $30 million people who ain't playing or played bad, because it's hard to move them. But it's like that some of the answers you can survive with this roster, but some of the answers it just ain't on the roster. I feel like.
I'm trying to take my like I'm more so not being like.
Hold on 1 second, this is bro. Hold on 1 second, my bad. Shout out to everybody in the building. Look, I got y'all questions starred. Shout out to Nando, the homie Nando, Louisiana guy. I got your question starred. For a lot of people sending in the questions, keep sending them in. I'm starring the question. We're gonna answer all of them. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
So I know normally I get like the optimism hat, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, if everything goes well, I'm not even thinking of if everything goes well, right? If I'm a new coach, right? If I'm a brand new coach and I come in and I don't know any of you motherfuckers, like I'm basing my lineup based off of what you do once I get here.
Yeah.
Right. So the reason I mention that is because Hawk was buried on the bench, deservedly so, right? But if they don't turn this roster over and you get an opportunity to come play, dog, you should be able to outperform Michael Peavy.
Who?
Hawkins. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that I think he will. I'm saying if I am Hawkins and I was drafted at 14, right? Like Michael Peavy can't shoot. If Micah ain't really out there, he ain't like we're assuming Micah's gonna be a quality defender when he gets minutes and stuff like that as well.
I thought he was pretty quality last year as a defender.
in very short, like
Yeah, he ain't played a lot of minutes.
No, so like I'm just saying, if I'm the coach, it's like if you bought the business or whatever, it's like, dog, I don't know, I don't give a fuck about what happened before I was here. What do you show right now? You know what I'm saying? So I understand like the physical aspect of it. Like Hawkins just don't have the frame right now to be a solid defender or whatever, right? Like he's just small, but in his opportunity, like if he can shoot the ball the way that he was supposed to shoot the ball, right? Like he's going in the way. Is it year 4 for him?
Yeah.
Year 4? No, I'm not saying he's gonna be great, but if we talk about needing a shooter, the one thing you need to be able to do is like Matt Ryan, for example. We use Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan was knocking them bitches down. Wasn't doing much else, but he was knocking them bitches down. Can you at least do what it is that you were expected to do? And if so,
fuck no. Like I don't want to stop your wisdom. I'm just like,
you good. I'm just throwing it out there, bro.
I don't, you know, I keep everything respectful, but
yeah,
nah, man, he just not a good player. And he just
also Kobe Buffkin.
Kobe, like today, Kobe Buffkin is a better player than Jordan Hawkins. And while I don't think Micah Peavy's like head and shoulders better than Hawkins, because I think both of them are players who just may not play some nights. But I also think that Micah Peavy is kind of like a little more trending toward what you're looking for. Like at least he can defend, he's a big body, he can finish at the rim, whereas Hawkins really can't do any of these things at this juncture. And he hasn't really, what's the word I'm looking for? Tried to improve, at least visibly. Like his body is about the same. Pause. He ain't put on no weight, he ain't put on no muscle. And again, that's another thing that bothers me with Hawkins, with Herb, and guys like this who just never seem to be trending upwards in their physical development. I think I don't think there exists a world where because the best I can say for Hawkins is like, then Hawkins get blocked behind the arc so fucking much.
Hawkins' confidence was shattered by last year for sure.
None in the beginning.
Well, this what I go back to. Hawkins when they started year 2.
Yeah.
Before he hurt his back, the first couple games before he had the back injury, he actually was playing relatively well. Right? Like his first couple games, I think the first 2 games, I think he had 21 games, he had 18, and then he had he hurt the back and just wasn't the same after the back, and then the limitations with his game. Limitations with his game.
I went and looked those games up a couple seasons ago. I would have to go back and look again.
Not the rookie season.
No, the second year.
Yeah.
I went back. I'd have to go back and look again. But when I did look it up initially, he wasn't playing well. I do remember, like from an efficiency standpoint.
The efficiency, I don't think was there.
Yeah, the efficiency wasn't there, but it was like, Zion just got hurt in game 1. He's back now in game 2. But what's old boy out? What's the old boy name? DeJounte. This nigga always out. I don't even remember his name sometimes.
He was out that year. Was he? No. Because Hawkins year 2 is
he's going into year 4 right now. So year 2 would have been the year that DeJounte hurt his hand or broke his wrist.
Was that because that's the year after the 49 win season, right?
Yeah, because they won the 49 wins with Hawkins' rookie year.
Okay.
So yeah, like he was doing the best he could, because I mean Herb had got hurt. Trey was injured. He entered the season injured.
So game one against Chicago, he played 28 minutes, was 4 for 9, 50% from 3. He had 13 points, 7 defensive rebounds. That's not bad. And then in game 2 against Portland, he played, this can't be right, he had 30 minutes. He was 8 for 12, 4 for 7 from 3. He had 24 points, 5 rebounds. Game 3 was a loss. He played 35 minutes. He shot 50% from the field, had 17. Like his first 5 or 6 games wasn't terrible. But then after that, it was after game 3, it was terrible. 0 for 6, 9 for 21.
That's what I'm saying. He was never good. So
after the 3 games, after the first 3 games, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know he was trying to play through the back injury for a couple games, but the shooting was terrible. And then he missed for a while. And then when he came back, he just never was the same.
That nigga just ain't good, though.
The first couple games, he shot it well.
I don't mean no disrespect to him, but that nigga just ain't good, though. Like he just ain't good. And it's all right. Fuck, there's plenty.
Yeah, no, it don't matter.
Like they got people like Kobe Buffington in the G League dropping 40 something. That like Hunter Dickinson in the G League doing numbers. Bro might come to the league.
Balling in the G, boy. Hawk went to the G and got like a cool 38 or something like that.
Like, you know who else? Shout out to Nando. You know who else had like an amazing looking jumper? That bitch was not pissy. Al-Farouq Amino. Like if you watch like Al-Farouq Amino at the free throw line, you'd be like, he should be a great shooter. But he just wasn't. Like I just think Hawkins is a scouting mistake. It happens.
Yeah, but I ain't mad.
Yeah, you know, to me, there's no world if Hawkins playing next year, something went terribly wrong. Like, and I say that about Dyson, his rookie. I'm like, if Dyson's playing, either you hurt, he's so good you can't deny him, or the team is terrible. And like the team wasn't that good. Like, yo, he just Dyson. I don't know. Some of these dudes just. I don't know, bro. Like these one-sided players.
I don't think Dyson is gonna play, but the reason I'm talking Dyson Hawkins is gonna play. The reason I even bring it up is assume they don't make any roster changes, right? When preseason comes and training camp comes, I'm just feeling like everybody, like I don't think there's any other than like Zion fears, certain people. But like, I don't think anybody's gonna just be like, okay, you got what's the word? Like obviously the high dollar people, you know what I mean? That's like they gotta play. That's different. But like if we talking about Bryce and Peavy and Hawkins and them fucking 8 through whatever or 9 through whatever, like boy, you better go out there and fight for your minutes. I don't think nobody should just be gifted nothing. Like you got to go out there and same thing with Herb. That's why I said you made the point about Bryce possibly starting over Herb. It's like, dog, if Herb not playing well, boy, you're not gifted just starting just because you were the starter. You got to go and play well.
I think at least your top 9 are pretty much accounting for his rotational minutes. Like if the roster stays as is, I think your top 9 is probably going to be Zion, DeJounte, Trey if he's here, Herb if he's here. And this is not like starters. I'm just saying generally speaking.
Just in general.
Yeah, Fears, Queen, Eve. I think Bryce is in that number. Sadiq. And I think after Sadiq and Poole, I think if Poole's here. So after Poole, it's going to be like Micah, you might not play. Carlo, you may or may not play. DeAndre.
You don't think Carlo in the rotation?
I think he's one of them, like you may play, you may not play type of guys. Because especially if you get another center, because now it's like they gonna have to stagger.
I need to go back and look and see if Mosley plays, like if he's a short rotation kind of guy, or if he plays 12, 13, because that makes a difference.
Yeah, I think if Carlo's good in his limited minutes, he'll get more minutes. But the only reason I say that is because I think they're gonna have to stagger these lineups a lot because they don't have a ton of on-ball like creation or offensive talent. So and you need like whoever your center is or your pack of centers. They're gonna have to play some heavy minutes. So I think Carlo could find himself kind of squeezed out in some scenarios. But
I don't think you can afford to not play Carlo. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not saying they're not gonna play him. I'm
saying like I don't think you can afford I don't think the big rotation is good enough.
No, I'm only saying if you bring in another big,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I'm
they're bringing
all
another
right. I'm about
big
to.
because
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, I think because to me, well, I don't want to say that might be going too far, but I was just gonna say there's a world where Carlo plays over Queen.
That's a world where Carlo plays over Eve, depending on how Carlo playing. In
I
my
think
opinion,
I think that's a significantly less of a world. And I only
really,
say that
the
because
defense.
I said it because the defense and motor. I think the motor issues could be a thing because you got people that could generate offense. You don't necessarily need offense from your bigs because you got a ton of perimeter players at this point that could generate offense. But now I don't say a ton, but you got a lot of perimeter players: Fear, Zion, DeJounte. What's his name?
I think Carlo was okay defensively. I don't think Eves was just significantly better than Carlo defensively when I watch him, in my opinion.
I think he's significantly better because just because like it could be a physicality thing to where like I think Carlo to me is like you come off the bench if you got it tonight, cool. If you don't got it tonight, go sit down. Like, but I think depending, and I've seen it, we've seen this a ton of times where just like, why your boy can't get on the float? And it's just like, have you watched this motherfucker play? This motherfucker, like we've seen it with Khalil Ware. It's like the motor's bad, the defense is bad, the highlights look great. But watching 48 minutes of this motherfucker, or however many minutes he play a night, you're like, it's too much of a liability. That's why you see like certain matchups, like or certain guys come in and get those minutes. That's why I say I think Queen, because by Eve being the only real center on the roster that I think is actively going to play, Eve, Queen is more of a forward, right? And he kind of pans out as a forward. So if you like, you're not running the floor tonight, or you turning the ball over, or you're not shooting well, all those things are realistic because those are things that happened last year. That's why I say that. So if he don't make any like gradual improvement and the motor's bad, I'm like, all right, well, I can see you splitting minutes with Carlo. Like you splitting minutes with Carlo. Cause think about all the times we've seen that historically. Like think about Jovic, right? When Jovic, before he got that money, Jovic was like, he about to be a guy. Yeah. And then he got that money. They're like, all right, look, now you splitting minutes with this motherfucker over here. This guy.
No, I'm ready to call Eric Spoelstra trash, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
We got like
super over. I know it's gonna take time to see super overrated, but I how I view the team is nobody is. I don't want to say nobody. When you talk about that big rotation, none of them are good enough to just be like, even Eve, like, is good enough to just be like, all right, you like 100% got or you can't be outplayed. Like, because there's nights where
it's a good question, James. I'm gonna start this.
Yeah, there's nights where to me, defensively, and it sound weird to say, but defensively, Carlo be more impactful than Eves. Like that, there's nights where you'll see that happening. So it's
what you basing that on? Like shot blocks?
No, not necessarily. Just watching the game because Eves have moments where like, and it could be the matchups, right? It could just be the matchups of how they're getting used at times. But like again, you'll see times where Eves gets bullied under the rim. He can't get no motherfucking rebound. People getting putbacks over him, and then Carlo. I'm saying like there's.
I don't know.
It's just.
It's a real thing. What you're saying. I'm just thinking like, man, Carlo got some work.
No, I'm not saying that Carlo is just significantly better than Eves or nothing like that. I'm just saying that like Eves hasn't just done enough to just be like, oh yeah, man, Eves just. And again, we're not saying that Eves is like, we think Eves is a rotational guy, right? Like if Eves is a rotational guy, you can't. If I think Carlo's a rotational guy as well, like you can't just be significantly better. I don't see him as just that much better.
No, I'm not saying like necessarily better. I'm just saying like from a physical standpoint, we got a much larger sample size of Eve at center against other like
Yes.
real centers. Whereas when you kind of see Carlo doing that, it's like, all right, well, if nothing else, you are not a center. Yeah, I know some people were saying just play Carlo at the 3, like last year. I'm like, he's not a 3 either. He's a 4.
I wouldn't do that.
He's like a, and that's why I say like Yves is the only like center you got, period.
Right.
Like, even if Yves not like a world beater at center, he's at least a real like NBA center, even if it's like rotational level. Whereas Carlo, I think Carlo really like a 4 at best, like a rotational 4 at best. Just because like I just think the what's the word I'm looking for? The sample size of him at the 5 ain't there. So that's the only reason I would say that. Yeah.
How I view it, I would play them together. And I think that's your best option.
I wouldn't mind starting them together, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I would play them. I will play them together, especially if you could get the vibe, because Carlo, no, he's not Yves, right? But you see Carlo defend the rim aggressively, like tries to go, and that's why when I made the point earlier about like, can you win your spot? I guess it's kind of like, can I get Carlo and Yves if they playing together? Can I get them to do the rebounding thing together well? Because I don't see Yves just significantly better than Carlo. But again, their games are also very different. I think they complement each other relatively well. They both athletic. I think you'll put a lot of strain on defenses if you had both of them, because they both got relatively good size, run the floor, pretty well. If Yves shoots the 3, if Carlo shoots the 3 a little bit more, I think you'll have something there. I just don't think you can not. I don't think if they don't bring somebody in, I don't think you can afford to just not play Carlo.
Yo, this is a good question, though, Lan. I'm gonna start your question, bro. I think, again, it all boils down to what you have in DQ. Like, if DQ can give you some really quality minutes defensively at the 4, and by defensively, I mean like you got to box out, you got to rebound, you can't get like just killed
if he
in the pick and roll.
Well, if he rebounds well at the 4, it changes a lot also.
Yeah.
Like, you got to rebound, dog.
I just think it was a bad pick because I'm thinking about it, bro. Even like I'm just thinking about it. It was a bad pick because just in everywhere on the court, you like, but I don't need this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got you fucking don't. It's just like you got like 3 on ball players right now. Well, 4 if I count Poole. Let's hypothetically today the roster as is. Let's say, and this don't account for you drafting the nigga next year. But let's say you got, and I'm not here to cry or spill milk, whatever. You got to make the best of the situation now. But you need Derik to be a catch and shoot motor guy. Like, that's what you need. Catch and shoot, motor, rebounder, hard playing, run the floor type player. I don't know if that's what he is right now. Of course, he can develop, and that's the second fucking year. But like, his motor got to be going like 100% of the time. Whereas like I don't really need you at the top of the key operating, because I got Fairs. Even though Fairs is more geared towards scoring, he's the point guard. So I got Fairs. I got DeJounte right now. I got Zion on ball. I got Jordan Poole on ball. At least 2 to 3 of those guys. Well, not really DeJounte. That didn't work in Atlanta. But Fairs and Poole can both play off ball. Zion can play off ball if he's cutting and staying active, right? But like with DQ, like I guess if I wanted to maximize him on his own for his individual benefit, it would be, you're gonna run the second unit. But what does that mean for Fairs? So like, let's say you run in the second unit. Cool. Fairs off ball, whatever. Right? Poole off ball, whatever. You run in the second unit. That might not help me win. Like, what if that don't help me, because that slows down the offense? I need a bunch of motherfuckers screening, and I gotta play you with a big. I need motherfuckers screening, running off screens, cutting, creating like opportunities. I don't know if this offense is gonna be that creative, right? And then I'm like, all right, well, the best way for me to utilize you that's not necessarily beneficial to you individually, but it'll keep you in the league a long time, and it can help the Pelicans win, is if you become a floor stretcher, you crashing the boards, getting rebounds and putbacks and things of that nature, because you can start in that situation. And that's why I say there's a world where Carlo can get his minutes, because that's all you're gonna ask Carlo to do. It's like, all right, you're gonna crash the board, maybe block a couple shots, stretch the court a little bit. Like, you know, that's gonna be the thing that you're asking him to do to maximize what he does. Whereas with DQ, it's like, I don't really need you as a floor orchestrator type thing, because next season, if I go draft another fucking on-ball guy, now I got like 3-4 on-ball motherfuckers, and I still need a center. So I still need a big man. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they maneuver that. Shout out to Nando. He said, "Am I tripping? Or did Queen have a 30-22? His last game was basketball ref tripping." No, he did. He had a good game against Timberwolves, against Joanne Barringer. But man, go look at Barringer motherfucking stat line, and go look at like Queen's efficiency during that game. The way it's just like, you can't have carte blanche, like shooting. You can't shoot 13 fucking times and get 14 points. Like we can't do that. It was a bad pick, bro. Like I hope it work out. It was a bad fuck. I can't keep not saying it. I hope it work out, but it was a bad pick.
I think it's gonna be interesting to see how I'm interested to see
at what turn
how Mosley uses the roster. Like if rosters is the same.
You think Mosley can turn DQ into like a version of Paolo? Because I believe in Mosley. I think Mosley's a good coach. Do you think he can turn DQ into like a version of Paolo?
You know how physically imposing Paolo is, though. Like Paolo, like from a physical, he's not Zion, right? But like just from a physical,
he's an animal. Physical,
like a physical standpoint. Like like Paolo is. I think the issue with that is that I don't think Mosley liked the way that Paolo played for the most part. Like when he wasn't getting downhill, like
Mosley was a midi. And bro, you made a great point, because you did. If y'all ain't go check out Elvin's like breakdown of the offense when Orlando ran when Paolo was out, and it wasn't a large sample size, but it did speak. Because hey, you can say the same thing about when BI was out, how the offense changed, and look when Zion, like in previous seasons, how the offense kind of ran, and it's like that's why when people talk about DeJounte, I'm like, well, what? Okay, let's see how a nigga get tired of all these middies. It gotta be
the midi shit, the
3-point shots. There's a place for middies, but it's late game clutch situations. It's not like through the flow of games. There's a place for it.
That shit is, and like the issue is, I'm telling you, when you go back and watch those games, bro, that shit was space. That's what spacing. You could watch it. Watch the summer league games when those dudes run the offense, get to the paint, kick it out, make an extra pass. The shots be wide open. Now again, it's summer league, it's bad basketball, or
it's rough.
Not
it's rough.
Professional, whatever. Okay, but that still translates level wise. Like again, you see most NBA teams. What do? They try to get paint touches and then kickouts. That's all. With fucking that's Boston's entire offensive system. At the end of the day,
paint to great, quote unquote. Like how Willie Green used to say that. Got to touch the paint because it creates chaos. You could kick out, or even like the Mosley film breakdown we saw where like Franz was able to like just collapse the defense and kick out to the shooter. And I think that's why like Mosley has an affinity for Zion and interferes. And I think Derik, if Derik tighten up that handle, he's a big guy. He can get downhill and create passing a bit like lanes and things like that. But if he could finish better at the rim, that would be great as well. The only thing I question is like, well, fuck, because for you to do that, that means if he's starting, he got to be. And that's the fucked up thing, is if he's starting, he has to be the center, because if you start at the center and you collapse the defense, you got Zion in the dunker spot or like Trey in the dunker spot, what have you, cool. But if you at the power forward and there's another non-shooter starting next to Zion and Fierce, who's not a shooter, like Fierce and Zion, neither one of them are shooters, or even DeJounte, who's not a shooter, and we got the one shooter lined up with Trey. It's like, how much can we max up? By the time you collapse the defense, because he ain't got like an elite first step, there's 2-3 motherfuckers right here waiting on you, like, hey, we got you, bro. We right here. Yeah. And you're gonna have to look in, like, where's Trey? You're gonna have to find the kick out for Trey. And if I'm the opposing defense, I never left Trey.
I'm not left Trey. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, so you're gonna kick it to DeJounte, who shot 30% last season or 29% the year before, or you're gonna kick it to Fizz and hope Fizz jump shot improves, or God forbid you kick it to Herb, who just shot 30%. That's a win for the opposing defense. Like me, I'm just trying to deconstruct, because I want the queen shit to work. Like, I want this to work. I'm just trying to deconstruct how I would stop some of these things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how I would stop this team.
You gonna have to he gonna have to shoot the three better, because, for example, if he were to play the 5, they're gonna use him similar to how Hunter Dickinson is playing right now.
Yeah, like that screen, pick and pop,
screens, pick and pop, and
no roll. Hunter Dickinson can't roll at
Hunter Dickinson never rolls, right? So DQ won't really roll. Now that the thing about DQ is he's a significantly better passer. So like you can have, you know, like off ball cuts and stuff if he does have the ball when he screens and rescreens and stuff like that. So you can have options off of that. But if he does play the 5, bro, I could guarantee you that's gonna be similar to the role he's in. It's gonna look
like Hunter Dickinson, pick and pop,
like Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah.
And the issue is because DQ is an ISO, is like an ISO-ish kind of player, right? Like the one thing about Hunter, if it's not there immediately, right? What is he do? He giving it up. He giving it up to the guard.
I don't want
at
no
some
problems.
At some point, you're gonna see DQ get into his fucking bag. And again, if you could destroy your matchup, then cool. The issue is you ain't like, and this is where it's gonna come down to for
spacing
me. Has he? Yes, but not just the spacing. If you can beat your man with like 2 or 3 dribbles, then cool. Like 2 or 3 dribbles and score, cool. Or catch and shoot, cool. Because that now we got something that we could work with, right? If it's taking you 7, 8 motherfucking dribbles, or like now I got my 7, 8 dribbles, I ain't got nowhere. Now I gotta come back and give it up anyway. Now we done fucked the whole offense up. That's gonna be the problem. So I could see a world where they try to use him like that, but when he gets the ball, I wonder what the rules are gonna be as far as like, look, if that shit ain't that, immediately get off it, or like, are they gonna allow him the freedom to be like, all right, son, go cook? Like,
yo, shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. We appreciate y'all support. Make sure y'all subscribe. Also, I'm with you, bro. I think
comparing DQ to Hunter Dickinson is funny.
Yeah, wow, yeah. Well, but I think you made an excellent point as far as like
how you can see what I mean.
Yeah, like how you utilize that particular type of big man, right? Because also you're gonna need a good screener for DeJounte. Yes. You don't like if DeJounte, and that's another thing. If DeJounte is starting and you got a point guard that can't consistently beat people off the dribble, what does that do as well? Because it kind of hurts the advantages you're able to create. Like
he gonna live in the pick and roll, bro. They gonna live in pick and roll,
and that's the thing where it's like they have to be Zion setting them motherfucking screens and rolling.
It's gonna be Yves. Yves don't have good fucking. I don't know if Yves don't have
great hands. He don't got great hands. But like I want to say the rookie year, Yves and DeJounte played well as a pairing.
They did have a good pick and roll.
They had like a couple stretches. This last season, I saw Zion and the Zion and DeJounte pick and roll prosper. The only thing is, sometimes DeJounte like to get in his bag. Like instead of like they don't want to spam what works. Like spam. If you can't, my thing is like, bro, you got to be able to get to the paint. Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody got to be able to get to the paint and collapse the fucking defense. You get to the paint,
Yes.
collapse defense, you dish it off the dunker spot. You create
Yes.
threes in the corner, threes on the wing. You know what I'm saying? You just create advantages. Like I know with some guys, it's like even if they get a step, like they're gonna stop, pull it out.
Yeah,
If
pull
they
that
miss
bitch
the
back.
time for
No,
them.
bro.
Bitch, go all the way and dish. Like even if you don't finish it, you gotta be able to dish it. I think that's why with DQ, I think he could be a play starter, maybe not necessarily a play finisher. But it's gonna be interesting to see, bro. I do know that they still looking at center options. It's just a matter of whom. I don't know if I've seen anybody in this summer league that I thought was just like amazing. In this summer league, I was like, man, call them. Well,
I'm still targeting. Let me ask you this because I know we talk about it because right now you probably give the two-way spots, right? Let's talk about the two ways.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying Kobe Buffkin deserves probably the other two-way spot.
I think so.
And then Hunter has one, and then they'll probably put Pierre. You know Pierre's gonna get a two-way. I don't think he's gonna get the true roster spot.
I think. Shout out to Hunter, but I wouldn't waste no two-way on Hunter.
So, and that was what do you think of the guy Malik Dia? Everybody seemed to like Dia right now.
You know who he looked like to me, bro? I was watching today. He looked like Derik Queen with a motor. Like that's who he looks like to me. As far as
he don't have the passing, he don't have no passing on zero.
But I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm not. See, and it's the thing when I get like this, it comes across hypercritical. But Derik only averaged 3 assists. Like
no, I ain't even talking about that. I'm saying when we was streaming the game.
Oh yeah, Malik
he don't believe in passing.
Yeah, he believe in passing. So I'm like that's why to me, man,
I would take a chance on the up. So I look at it this way. Because I did not like watching him. I did not like watching this game today, bro. Even though he played well, right? He did play well. I hate a motherfucker that's just like as soon as they touch it, this bitch, it's going up. By hook or crook, that whole going up. It's like, dog. Because on the big team, you ain't gonna have that kind of freedom, or you gotta be.
Well,
dog, Cam Thomas is out the league and he was elite.
Let me shoot him some bail. Right?
Okay.
I'll say this. He one of them people that's like, I gotta get invited to the dance. I'm trying to get to the dance. So, like, for as a Hunter, like you got 1 foot in. PL, you got 1 foot in. PV, you got 1 foot in. Me and Buffkin, we trying to get to the dance. Yeah. So we gotta drop our nuts a little. We gotta let us hang a little bit for us. Like,
I'm on my lose yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you only get one shot. So you gotta go out there like, man, fuck that. I'm about to be a dog. Because at the end of the day, you got drafted, so you got some skin in the game. Michael Peavy, you got a guaranteed contract. You got skin in the game. You cool. Hunter Dickinson, they've been bringing you back for this your second season. You got a little familiarity. Shoemate, you got some familiarity. If I'm Malik Deal, if I'm Kobe Buffkin, y'all
somebody gotta see me. Yeah, somebody gotta see me.
This roster spot, you gotta go through me. I'm out here for blood. So I respect it.
By the end of the game, I was like, that motherfucker consistent. I can't even be like I wasn't mad. I just was like
to me, I absolutely look at him like, to me, it looked like Derik with a motor. So whereas like I'm not anticipating once he drives, I'm not anticipating the pass. I'm just like this bitch going up. Hopefully it goes in. Yeah. Like even with Buffkin, I'm like today when Buffkin was driving, I was like, just shoot it, bro. I know you're trying to do like some point guard shit, but
that's how I was feeling too. I was like,
you're not a point guard right now.
You could tell that they asked him to show more of his point guard skill because in game one he showed, all right, listen, I can shoot this bitch. I can score this bitch, and then it was just kind of like, look, we know you can do it. But you know what I liked about Buffkin's game, bro, and I said this on the stream earlier, is that like the times they needed a bucket or they needed him to get to the line or they needed, he didn't shoot well, but when they needed something, he was able to go, again, you was a lottery pick, bro. 4th year, you've been around the league for a while. He was able to kind of go get done what they needed to get done when they did to close that game.
That's a very mature dude. I was watching his interview. He said one of his favorite artists is Yolanda Adams.
I saw that. Yeah,
that's a very mature.
Yeah.
I was like, because God give me. I was like, where the fuck they come from? Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he not like of the age where you would just know Yolanda Adams like that.
He don't do a lot of smiling or none of that. That dude is like, man, look,
He was on somebody. He was on I forgot who that was. He was on somebody else today too. Hey bro, I was like, dude,
he been in the league for a while. He been in some better organizations up until this point. And I think him being a quote unquote backup point guard, that'll get you in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like him scoring off the bench, you could do that. You could be Shamet, Larry Shamet.
Yeah.
But still, what's most likely to get you in the league is if you could be a floor general for points at a time. Because again, the Pelicans, they don't really need a motherfucker off the bench that's about to come out there and just like get buckets. They need a motherfucker.
That's why I said that about Dia. It's just like, dog, you're not gonna do that on the next level.
Yeah,
but I get.
You're gonna have to rebound and be an asshole.
You got to fucking defend shit like that.
I can see them doing something like, I hope they don't, but I can see them bringing. If this dude ain't been signed already,
that man had 39 assists. No, that's funny. 39 assists in 4 seasons, bro.
He ain't passing that.
No passing, bro.
He is not.
We was in the stream, dog. We was in the stream. When that bitch hit, he shooting every time.
B. Penton just said, he said, yo, just join in. Don't know if you mentioned it yet, but Deal got some of the same skills as DQ. Probably minus the pass, but man, I think it's more than gives it. When I look at him, I'm like, he look like an in-shape Derik with a motor.
6'9". He got a better shooting touch. Like he's definitely got a better shooting touch.
And to me, the problem is when you're not a spectacular athlete, if you're not big as a motherfucker like Jokic, you gotta be like your motor and everything just gotta be elite. Like there's no reason Sohan should have been in the league as long as he's in the league.
Nah,
like no reason. He probably in practice just going 1,000%.
He wasn't
killing
even
everybody.
Great defensively either, but
he not even like spectacular defensively. But man, shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to the homie Ashton in the building. Look, shout out to my dog Ross. He still got her Ross picture. And shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like. But CD say he's a big. They usually don't have a lot of assists, but that's a good point as well. That's a good point. I thought his motor was exceptional. Like I noticed, like he had that one play to where he was he scored. They throw the inbound pass and he went and got another bucket. And I was like, I like that.
Did he shoot that bitch?
And it's efficient. Like if he was just like looking stupid, or see my thing. And look, shout out the motherfucking Coach Sham guy, because Coach Sham guy said something that I think you were kind of, I don't say hinting towards, but I think you were saying this as well, but you didn't use the same exact phrasing and terminology. Wasted movement. Kobe Buffkin don't waste movement. No. The thing with DQ, the
extra,
like, bro, you not going nowhere. Just shoot the fuck. Just go, don't go. Like go or give that bitch up. Hunter Dickinson can barely move, so he ain't wasting the movement he got.
Once he got that bitch,
if it's not open, he like, all right, come get the ball back, y'all. Can't waste no movement. We don't got time. The thing with Deer, like, bitch, you guessed it.
It's going up. Son, the play where bro, you could tell he don't want past that bitch. He got the rebound. He got the rebound, and Pierre was streaking down the court. And he was like, because the first couple times he got the rebound, he taking that bitch down for the layup. He got the full court layup. I'm keeping these two. I ain't passing that bitch on a break or nothing.
Shout out to Big Major. I just started your question, bro.
I guess I'll throw this bitch in.
Yeah. Like, look,
almost got Pierre fucking tore his ACL.
Look, shout out to Pierre. Pierre, you learning a valuable lesson, brother. And look, he learning a valuable lesson he learned like in college. Just to say everybody in summer league was the man at their college university or what have you, or wherever they came from, they was probably the man there.
Niggas was cold.
So you dealing with a bunch of motherfuckers. And shout out to Noel, hit a big three from that right corner. You dealing with a bunch of motherfuckers who like, bitch, I got kids to feed. I was the man. Like nobody
Noel not gonna
no
make
empathy
this team.
for you.
Noel not gonna make this team, but
he had a great summer league.
He's having a really good. He's settling. He's like the best point guard on the like. He's settling them down. He's making some big plays. I
life ain't fair, bro.
Yeah, you too short, bro. You just too small. Like defensively, at the end of the game, they got to take him out. And that's how Melvin Coleman's getting those minutes, and he's doing really well in his minutes as well, playing some point guard. I like what I see from him too. I know we done kind of got off track.
No, it's fine, man. Look, we're gonna run a quick commercial break and we're gonna get to the star question. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe as well, hit the bell notification. Yeah, dog. If Noel was like 6'1", him and Buffkin to me would have been like the best two guards.
Absolutely, and they shooting really like Buffkin didn't shoot well today, but like Noel shooting relatively well too.
Yeah, man. So shout out to them brothers, man, and best of luck to them. And yo, we won. Let's celebrate.
Charles is my name. Jewel Curl is my fame. Who could be? You need to know. I'm your hairdresser who really knows. You're gonna have a curl to catch your eyes and every guy, every girl. Just 20.
Boy,
2750.
Out going to the curl place. And first of all, St. Louis got some motherfucking gangsters in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So you going to the curl place at 11 p.m. with a bankroll, because Jarrell probably only take cash. So, boy, I have a big old motherfucking pistol on me. You're sitting on my lap. I just, all right, Jarrell, let you know, just hit my edges, brother. I got a date tonight. Boy, I'd be scared of that going to motherfucking Jarrell Curl on Friday night at 11. Boy, that trap. We're going to get to these star questions, man, and get out of here, man. Hopefully the front office got a couple moves up their sleeve, man. I ain't counting the old hustler like Joe Dumas and them out. So we gonna and look, Joe been around a long time. He done seen it all. So I'm sure he's evaluating, working them phones. He got a lot of relationships. So I ain't gonna kind of hustle out. I hope we can make something happen though. Shout out to the homie Nando. He said, I think DeAndre contract is one of two things: doing a favor for the agent, or he had other offers in the Pelicans at the top it. I think they really go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm definitely doing them a side. I think they like DeAndre a lot.
Yeah,
he bruh.
They fuck
sometimes when you trying to change the culture, they feel like you need people like DeAndre in the building. And you do.
They fuck with DeAndre heavy. I definitely say that. Marvelous. Shout out to Marvelous 567 in the building. He said, would the Pelicans give Jalen Duren the max? No.
You don't think they would?
I got some good information that they would not probably. Okay. Or at minimum, they'd be strongly talked out of it. It would be strongly suggested against it. I don't think they would give them the max.
Okay. I ain't mad at that.
Shout out to Duren, though. Desmond King said, y'all think Jonas comes back?
Jonas trying to go home, man. Stop trying to trap Jonas in the NBA, dog. And aside from that, no, he's not coming back to New Orleans. It didn't end well in New Orleans. Jonas probably like, fuck New Orleans. After how they treated that dude his last season.
I think he was like, fuck Willie. But
too.
Jonas really fuck with the city. I ain't gonna lie.
But I don't mean like Jonas, bro.
Yeah.
Jonas was a staple. And they did Jonas pretty dirty, dog.
Yeah, they
not really specifically, whoever in by association, David Griffin for letting it fly the way that it went down.
And
So
another player too, I'm not even gonna name, but because he ain't never really done nothing to me. But
yeah,
the NBA, it's a dirty politics, though. That's the world, though. That's the
Telling you,
world. That's why
son.
you gotta just do your own thing, son. Shout out to Nando.
Mhm.
He said, "Yo, with the 5-piece, appreciate you, Nando." He said, "Yo, L, keep
Yeah,
doing
bro.
them during them game, like the live calls during the games. Y'all make sure y'all check that
Yeah.
out on Pals in the Blender." He said it was
Yeah,
better than
man.
Danny Green.
Appreciate it, bro. Catch y'all. I'll see what it's looking like Wednesday. They got a Wednesday evening game. I might be able to do that one.
Summer League ain't over. Fuck.
No, it might have. If they win that game, they might make the playoff.
Boy, I would kill for just one more week of training camp and one just
One
in
more-
summer league. Yeah, let's make training camp like 2-3 weeks and just wrap this summer league shit up. Like,
Right,
but I
it's
get
gonna
it,
be.
nigga.
No, it's gonna be.
Yeah,
It's
better way
gonna.
to do
So
this.
like next week is the what you running into like the third week of the third week of July. Boy, it's about to August gonna fly by, bro.
Yeah, it's about
August
to be
gonna fly
real,
by.
boy.
This
It's
shit
about to be training camp. It's
Yep.
about to be, yeah. So shout out to Nando, say y'all saw have some comments on Draymond. That's why you keep vets like DJ around. I didn't see his comments on Draymond. I think we was talking about the Bam and the Bayou
Yeah, I think
fight.
we're talking about I think Draymond spoke on it. He when Draymond and Poole had his situation, UD was very vocal about it and how it was messed up
Not
and
that
blah
they
blah
ain't
blah.
got nothing to say.
And Draymond, like, where you at right now when your dude punching on y'all? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think too.
I mind my business.
I don't know. I feel two ways about it. I feel like
Mhm.
if that was your friend, like if Bam would probably look like you my boy, so it probably hurt more.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you gotta keep your hands to yourself because just keep your hands. I think you just gotta keep your hands to yourself because it'll be interesting to see what the league end up
the
doing.
league say about it.
Yeah, because if you end up getting
Didn't
suspended,
Draymond get sat down? Did Draymond get sat down?
Draymond got sat down for that. So if you end up getting
Mhm.
suspended, then what? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Sit his ass
crazy,
down, Adam. Sit him
or
down.
crazy fine for that. Like,
Yeah, we don't need them out there acting up all out in Vegas while we trying to have a good time.
making our league look bad. But shout out to
Yeah,
Tyler. I hope Bam don't, no. I know
man,
but we gotta
suspend him for the season.
we gotta be careful with how we react to disrespect in the real world. I'll say that because shit could go bad for a lot.
Yeah, it goes down quick.
It go bad.
It only takes somebody to be like, he did what to Tyler, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, boy.
Feeling some type of way,
Then
and then
them
a tragic
saxophones,
accident.
yeah, then them saxophones playing, and fuck that. Yeah, that's why I just like, all right, man, just keep your hands to yourself. Shout out to Combat Jack. He said, any chance we bringing in any other free agent bigs? I'm told that they're looking at some bigs. The market is kind of, meh. I'll say
even if
Nick,
they did, I don't
Nick
want to say
Richards.
nothing. No, I don't want to say nothing. I told you, I'm like every time I mention players, my players I was mentioning was getting signed. So I
Look,
just like
I
I'm
said
gonna
that
be
to
quiet
start
and
the
see.
show, bro. Every time I mention, I just mentioned Michael fucking Potter. Who the fuck was thinking about Michael Potter? So
Same team. I
got
told
signed.
you, team got you that got me. Brandon Carson. I'm like, dog, y'all got like 8 bigs on the roster, bro.
What the
what
fuck
are y'all
you need
doing?
Michael Potter? Then you claim them off of waivers. Like, what kind of weird shit y'all on? But man, I don't fuck with Portland no more.
Yeah.
Nah, I got something against Portland. I ain't gonna hold it.
I'm telling you.
Basketball said, watch Amalo out going back to last year. Do you think we'd be better if we taken him or Queen? Nah. Wait, him or Queen? I think you'd be better if you had them 2 motherfucking picks this past year. I just know I'm not a fan of Malo. I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't trust 7-footers with 4 rebounds in college or whatever he did.
It don't make a difference. I don't mind Milo White, but I would have preferred Mark Williams.
Like Milo White.
Yeah, like that's why I think they brought him back.
And I think Renard probably gonna be the best big man out that draft.
You think so?
And he about to play in summer league too.
I gotta go back and look and see.
Renard
is he about to play?
Yeah, I think he's about to play. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but he said he's
Hmm.
gonna play. Well, they just put out a thing to say he's going to play. I don't know if
That's
they'll live up
interesting.
to it, but that would
Yeah,
go.
yeah. He get buckets. He
I would,
definitely get
I
buckets.
would. No, I'm talking about Renard. You got Baron J, bruh. Bye. No,
It's gonna be interesting to see, though.
and you know what?
It's
You know
gonna,
what? I don't think it's interesting to see. I think it's tragic to see because
yeah.
you just all you had to motherfucking do, right? You like dog this, and I say this on Twitter. I'm just like, I'm trying to be optimistic about everything moving forward, but the outlook of
Mhm.
everything just looks so much better if you had Baron J, and you just like, man, fears the Baron J. We about to have a new
Mhm.
Crescent City connection. This
Yeah.
motherfucker, look at this motherfucker. He runs like
The
a
skill
gazelle.
he
Like,
doesn't have like the wide skill set that DQ has,
and that's the
but
thing you
he
don't
has
really need.
he just has a defined skill set. It's like that motherfucker big block shots and run the floor, and he gonna dunk.
I view DQ like they got like I got with my SUV. There's a bunch of buttons that I don't know what they do, and I would never use them. Right? Like I don't know what they do, and I'll never use these buttons. I don't need to turn my truck into an off-road vehicle. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I won't be in those situations. Right? I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be driving in the fucking Grand Canyon nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Like I need a simple A to B skill set nigga who might have a C here and there. Like, oh, look at that drop step. That nigga cold.
Yeah.
You been working on it. Like, I need a nigga that's just like, ah, ah.
Look at that drop step.
Like, boy, look at that motherfucking drop step. That nigga cold. Who knew he had that bag?
Derik Lively would be perfect right now.
Man, Derik Lively would be so ideal. Derik Lively was cold before he started.
Derik Lively was cool. I'm telling you, though, I'm giving DQ the season. I'm giving everybody the season. I'm giving everybody the season to wait and see what it looked like.
I'm giving DQ and Troy this season. Because to me, it ain't like DQ ain't asked for the fucking pressure to be put on him. But baby here now.
Let me ask you this. Because initially the pick was at 23. If he picked 23, you don't care? It don't matter.
Well, initially
you still traded the pick.
Well, look, man.
Get him.
I think Baron J went like what 19.
17,
I don't really count,
I think
17,
19.
I don't count Renard because Renard went, he
round.
forced his way to the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
I would just rather have my 2 picks this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
you'd have took Fizz and been cool.
I took Fizz and went by my business. And this year, I could have really just acted a fool with them 2 picks and just did whatever I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Wealthy Few say, what y'all think about DeJounte, Trey Murphy, Zion, Queen, Missi at the starting 5?
That's not enough shooting to me.
Nah,
but it's not enough shooting, but it could possibly be enough scoring. I'm interested defensively. I don't know. I think there's a world where that is your starting lineup. I can't imagine Queen starting over Fizz though.
Boy,
that just feel
it would set a bad precedent, I would think.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, in theory, like if I understand the positions are different, but like it just would feel it just don't look right. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't know, bro. I just hope this all works out.
I'd rather this gonna sound weird. I'd rather start Fizz, Murray, Trey, Z, Missi, I think, than go 2 bigs. I'd rather go small than go with the 2 bigs.
If those are the 2 bigs, I totally agree. Because to me, I feel like Queen could play with Carlo. I don't know if he could play with Missi.
I think he could play with Carlo as well.
Unless it was just, again, like he would have to be a certain type of big. Like, so I don't know, son. I hope
Carlo and Queen give me a little. It's not as much, obviously, but like how he was using trade. That's why I would play him with them, like because
you had back cut.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying you would have it with Trey, like being able to cut, and Carlo is a good cutter, and he catches and finishes lives and stuff. Well, I don't want to say he's a good cutter, but like you can see, like
I was
the
just thinking about
athleticism is
something.
there.
That's why I looked, because I don't even want to say it, because I'm already coming across like I'm being super hypercritical of bro, and I'm not trying to do that, because I absolutely want him to succeed. Because what I was looking at, I was like, well, DQ averaged a little over 3 assists a game. Now, of course, you don't have no 3-point shooters, so what you expect him to do? But also, if 2 of those 3 assists was Trey Murphy backdoor cuts, then what the fuck was all the sharp ass passing at? Like I don't know, bro. Like they got to get some more shooting to take advantage of these guys' passing skill sets. Shout out to Raphael. Say Russell Westbrook,
Miami. They say they're interested.
It'd be funny if he reunite with LeBron.
Well, LeBron would be mad. They said Brian ain't going nowhere with Russ at.
I heard. Well, if Russ ain't going away with LeBron.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't trying to play with that dude.
I just always heard Russ didn't like New Orleans. Like how, he had an agent that was from New Orleans at one point. So I don't know if he still. Maybe that's how with the relationship on the whole city.
Just fire that agent too, huh?
Yeah, like, man, fuck everything about this town. But I don't know if Russ would come to the team. I would love to have him on the roster though. Basketball said, who do you think the top 10 in the West will be? I think well, it's easier to say. I think Sacramento, Memphis, and the Clippers will be on the outside looking in.
I think what it boils down to is I think we're gonna be 7 or 8 this year.
I can see that.
I think we're around 7 or 8 this year.
I'd be thrilled with that. Breeze said, do y'all think Joe Dumars was the right hire? He traded for Jordan Poole, signed Kevon Looney, traded 2 unprotected picks, picked up Hawkins' team option, signed DeAndre to a 2-year deal. Well, she traded for Jordan Poole. Well, here's the thing with that, y'all. CJ was expiring, and CJ had no value. So you could either let CJ expire this year, like he would be off the roster right now, or B, you could try to turn him into another distressed asset and hope that asset outperforms his contract. Jordan Poole didn't do that last year, but now you're in the same position you was with CJ last year. Jordan Poole's didn't expire. Kevon Looney at that time was the best big man available on the market, at least according to numbers. Precious Achiuwa ended up being the best big man, but like that, Deron Sharp didn't end up being shit really this year. Kevon Looney had the best defensive rebounding numbers, advanced metrics, and all that shit last year. He's off the roster now. Didn't really matter ultimately. You only traded 1 unprotected first, because that second first was top 4 protected with the Pacers. That pick might have ended up being, I like to say that pick was going to be like 15, like anywhere from 13 to 15. I would much rather have it. Right. The Hawkins team option thing, you need tradable salary, because the Pelicans don't have mid-level salary. The only salary you really got is her at this point. So you need that mid-level tradable salary. But it shit ain't work out. The DeAndre Jordan thing, I think, is a non-story, honestly.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I just really don't care. I just don't care at this point, to be honest. Like, moving forward, bro, I like the moves they hire. Let's make these pieces effective and move and do well moving forward.
So now I'm looking at the Udonis half of comment.
Response.
He said, yeah, shout out to L for sending me this. He said, I ain't about to read all this shit.
It's long, but he just basically was like, boy, you a hoe.
And
to sum it up.
I ain't gonna lie, Udonis, this is some picking and choosing shit. Looking at it, Udonis, you wrong in this situation. You're wrong, Udonis. Draymond is right in this situation. Draymond is right. Can't pick and choose, my nigga. Like, well, they 28. You know what I'm saying? Well, they got it all figured out. Like 28 now, like 19. like Draymond 32. He got it all figured out. Like, what the fuck? So anyway, shout out to the homie Hemi. He said, "Are we sure Queen is not good enough? is good enough not to play in summer league, or the Pelicans trying to hide
No.
him? Go ahead. Al.
No, we not sure. None of them dudes, him or Fizz, respectfully, neither one of them, in my opinion, from what I saw, I don't think neither one of them are good enough to just not play. I understand the reasoning behind, like the reasoning they not playing is not because they're just too good to play. I think it's just different reasoning for each one of them why they not playing. But no, it ain't just these motherfuckers just so cold that they ain't. No, he ain't Cooper Flag. Neither one of them are Cooper Flag. Cooper don't need to go play. The rest of y'all, like, y'all asses out there and go suit up, man. Cedric Coward then played every game.
And Cedric Coward had a hell of a year last year.
Yes, bro. Cedric Coward then played every goddamn game. Basically,
Memphis kind of tripping with that. Cedric Coward.
Yeah. What is y'all doing, bro? Cedric Coward might be the offense.
Well, chemistry. You know, they're trying to build that chemistry, but Coward had a hell of a fucking year last year.
Bro, both sides of the ball. So
I like Cedric Coward a lot. Like, man.
Yeah. You telling me Cedric Coward was first team, wasn't he? First team all rookie, if I'm not mistaken.
To look again. I don't really be paying attention to that when I have to look again.
I'm just saying, but like, dog, you telling me Derik Queen had a better season than Cedric Coward?
That's a hard no.
So even Fizz to a degree, like the Fizz.
I think Fizz was probably, you can argue there was like a close tie, but I think Cedric Coward had an incredible rookie season.
That's what I'm saying.
For where he was drafted and who he is, like he wasn't. Of course, nobody think he VJ a Cooper, but for where he was drafted, that dude was nice. I like Cedric
VJ
Coward.
Don't need to go play summer league. Like VJ was a starting point, like was a starting two guard in the playoffs in the second round, bro. Making game winners and shit. No,
anybody who played big minutes in the postseason, who especially if they were starting, then you absolutely don't need to play in summer league.
Nah.
James Beard says, "What kind of offense y'all see Mosley running? More structural, equal opportunity?
Structure, 5 out. They gonna run like 5 out, pick and roll." Spacing, driving, kick kind of options. Like the ball will probably be in DeJounte and Zion's hands a lot. I think you'll see like some off-ball screens for like Trey and stuff like that. But this shit ain't gonna be no equal opportunity. Nah, they don't really operate like that. Like if you go back and watch Orlando, who had the ball? Franz, Paolo, and Bang. And then Suggs from time to time, but like Suggs had to go spot up, and it shit gonna look like, you know what it's gonna look like, bro? Real shit is gonna look like Stan offense a little bit, like similar to what Stan was doing.
I know Mosley did mention Zion at the point of attack a lot, so we'll see. Hopefully, guys stay healthy. We can get some good screens and good movement because this is very stagnant. Park your ass in the corner type offense the last few years. So hopefully the Pelicans could do more when you got guys that can like break down the defense like a Zion can, and you got guys that can stretch the court like Bane was able to, or like Trey was able, or is able to, if Trey's here. Nolan Ant said, "Do y'all think the front office scouting cheap potential centers from these other teams in summer league?"
Maybe.
I think it's possible, but I also think they probably will be looking more for
a vet,
like an NBA veteran upgrade if they actively looking in the trade market. I'm hoping that deal comes sooner than later because I don't want no excuses from like the players and the team. Not the players, because the players ain't gonna say shit, but like the team, like I want to win. Let's hit the ground running. Fuck all that. Well, we got a good time to know each other. I don't care if y'all just met. Like we need to hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're gonna look for a more veteran guy to address that need. I hope.
These guys, man.
It says if Derik doesn't show some maturity and improvement in his game, could y'all see Joe and company move him by season's end?
Yep.
Yeah. I based on what I know and think I know, yeah.
If you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I think that goes beyond Queen at the end of the day. I think they gutted the front office last year.
Yeah.
If it don't look well, they gonna gut the roster this year.
Yeah, to me, it could be almost anybody. Like I think that's a universal thing. I just think some guys are starting off the wrong way versus some others, but you're gonna have advocates on both sides. You will have advocates saying this motherfucker gotta go. You have people saying no, this is this and this, So I think it's all about the return. If you think there's a great return in investing in DQ, you're gonna give them every opportunity. If you think the return is minimal, you're gonna be like, all right, I ain't signed up for this. Let's move on.
Media day is going to be interesting, boy.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You say that?
Depending on if there's no moves, I'm interested to hear.
Oh yeah.
No, you know what? I take it back because we don't always ask the questions that like
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Never mind. I take it back.
Fletcher got it. It'll be Fletcher really got to drop his lip and be
he gotta sit there and go talk to everybody.
You're gonna have to get Fletcher 5-6 questions in a row and let Fletcher just Fletcher cold with that shit.
He one of the only ones.
Yeah, Fletcher don't give a fuck. So he'll have to drop his lip. Big man, you had the homie. He said, if I walk for Missi right now, would y'all do it? I'd probably keep Missi, to be honest.
Ooh.
I'm just not a fan of Malawak. I got to see more of him, but I wasn't a fan of him coming out of college neither.
Mm-hmm.
I think Malawak got a higher ceiling, probably.
I'll probably take Malawak right now. He was shooting his three relatively well. He was 2 for 4. He missed. He wasn't scared to shoot that bitch at the end of the game. He missed the old goal. It cost him, but he shot it.
I just got to see some of these dudes against like NBA people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like with Summer League, I mostly focus on like your individual performance. Like Malawak 5 for 9, 15 rebounds versus Hunter Dickinson, but he had 15 and 15. So that's fucking exceptional.
Yeah, that's what I said. He had like 2 blocks. He played well.
Yeah.
But,
shout out to him. Yeah, I just need to see it like against other NBA guys. So we'll see what happens. And this is the last one. Shout out to the homie Sko in the building. He said, how y'all feel about this current rookie class now that Summer League is starting and we've seen everyone play? L?
I ain't gonna lie. They look good. Majority of them. I was looking through this the other day. It's like looking through the list, bro. It's like 80% of the first round played well. You know what I mean? Like a good bit of the people in the second round played well. So it's kind of like it's Summer League. For what I was told, Summer League don't matter. These games don't matter, right? But I'll just say that they've had relatively good showings. Will it translate? You never know. There's busting every draft and whatnot. And their roles change when you get to the league, and you know what I mean. But as of right now, I think they all look solid. I think they off to a good start. I'll just say that they off to a good start.
I think I see one guy who looks like a star.
Who?
That being Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
AJ, I can tell I'm not gonna like the way AJ plays.
I'm not gonna like AJ
because you flopping in Summer League.
I already don't. I ain't gonna say I don't think he good, but like the handle is questionable to me. Yeah, like he gonna be fine because they got a lot of talent around him, but I just don't. Like,
if Darren stay healthy, he probably get Keontae Jordan out of there. Or Ace. And that's when if you're the Pelicans, maybe you could take advantage. I think it would have to be Ace versus Keontae, though.
I'm taking more. Listen, you already know how I feel about Ace. I make that call in a heartbeat.
I think I gotta watch Caleb again. I'm just not a fan of power forwards, bro. Like I
think Caleb look, and a lot of people put more stock into like the. I ain't gonna lie, it sound weird. I think you're right. Peterson looked like a star. I think Boozer gonna look like his dad, bro. That dude gonna be
just very, very good.
Just so good, though. Like Memphis is gonna be good because he do all of the little things, bro. He do all of the little things right. He ain't never in the good thing about Peterson too. He don't seem sped up at all. Like it don't matter what's out there.
He's so much more talented than what's
in front of him. He's just out there looking cool and collected and shit. I like the little guard from that Brooklyn guy too, Mikael
Brown.
Yeah.
I know A-Cup having some trouble right now, and Fleming having some trouble.
That's because that motherfucker got to shoot. He got the green light. He trying to get his offense going. He's shooting that bitch 20 times a game, 20 plus. Man, 29 shots his first game, bro.
Mo Johnson in Dallas look good. Ademara looked like he just trying to figure out what the fuck going on.
That boy look like some trash. He looked like Hunter.
He kind of
Came
just
up to speed.
he looked totally dumbfounded right now.
It looked too fast. It looked too fast for him. Sanak look good.
Like Sanak look solid. I think again, like if you a supreme athlete or shooter in summer league, you're gonna look like a fucking animal. That's why to me, that's why I wasn't really tripping so much on Derik playing. If everything was equal, because I was just like, I didn't see a world where he would look that impressive unless he was just out that bitch just pissy, hitting threes. But
Yaxel
like,
look good too. I was thinking that Yaxel cold.
I know Yaxel was 23.
Yaxel, that oldest motherfucker. Yaxel, no, my Cam Carr was attainable, bro.
Yeah, Cam did his thing.
Cam had.
I don't even know if you unless you was trading Trey. Other than that, like I don't even know.
Traded her to get back into the bag, and no, he went 24.
He got drafted at 24.
Yeah,
Maybe my faith is low in Herb's stock because I don't even know. Well, if for the Lakers probably needed Herb. Yeah, you probably could have got him for the Lakers.
You could have got back into the first round to get. I'm just saying, dog. Cam looked to me. He looked like a shorter Trey. Like he looked like a shorter Trey Murphy to me.
I gotta really go watch him again. I'll just say I love
he moved better off ball than Trey though. I'll say that.
I would just love to have a prospect that's like coming in with an NBA ready skill, who's athletic, 3-and-D guy. I don't know what Cam's ceiling is. Again, I haven't watched enough of him. When I did watch him, he didn't like super duper jump off the screen. But I would rather have him than not have him right now. Yeah. Right now, I'll say that.
To me, I don't think he's gonna just jump off the screen as like his game not flashy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But to me, he gonna be a quality role player, dog.
That's my thing. I'm like, really I'm at the point player, where I just want simple, good players.
Yes, dog.
He's gonna be Zaire Williams. He's a free agent right now too.
I think Cam is gonna be able, like, in the offense that he gonna play in, he gonna get so many open jumpers that he gonna knock down. He's gonna be a beast in transition because he gonna get out, run the floor. He's like a smart player. He an NBA kid. You know what I mean? His dad played in the league, so they typically I think his dad's name was Chris. Chris Carr played. Okay. That's why he got the 43. His dad wore 43, I guess.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to that.
Yeah. But he gonna be though. I think he gonna be good. Fucking Lakers.
I think the Lakers might be some shit this year.
Ain't no way.
I say that because I'm like, damn, Luka, and you can say about almost any team, but this team, I was like, I kind of wish y'all would have kept LeBron to a degree. Because there's something about having it. Like Luka got it, LeBron got it. So if any point, and Luka like, all right, y'all, I'm about to miss a couple weeks here. Y'all got it. Austin, you got it, huh? You ain't tripping, huh? It's just gonna be weird to me because they really need some perimeter defense. Because if I'm any team against them bitches, I'm abandoning my game plan and just being like attack them two. Reeves and Luka, attack them two relentlessly. Because they ain't got nobody.
Not getting like the Kuminga situation that they was talking about and how they played on that. That's kind of crazy.
Kuminga overplaying his hand, boy. You gonna be
25, boy. You gonna be out the league.
Yeah, you gonna be looking crazy.
Be out the league.
Yeah, be out of the league, man. You can always join this show though, bro. Come holler and get your professional insight, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, tap the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Al, tell the people they can find you at, bro.
Man, always, man. Y'all catch me at Pels in the Blender. You hear me on YouTube for sure. Or you can catch me at Just Say Davis on X, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, indeed, man. Catch me at Instagram, Twitter, what have you, at ChatterChat, CHEDDACHAZ. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If something worthwhile comes up, we will talk about it. Become a member. We just dropped a new episode, kind of delving a little deeper into the DQ situation and what things currently stand. As far as I know, hopefully the Pelicans go out and get in the center, man. We need it desperately, fam. So y'all be cool, be smooth, have a good week. We out. Peace. Pelicans win.